as we go off to Old Trafford. Manchester United against Bolton. All the goals as they go in. Here's Jimmy Armfield with John Murray.
Well, it's a lovely day here. Lovely day, spring day. And on a day like this, I must say, Jimmy, there is a whiff of the approaching end of season in the air, with two of the top 7 clubs that we're going to be watching today. But Manchester United, a 3-point lead at the top of the table over Arsenal, who'll be kicking off presently at the Hawthorns, where Mark is, against West Brom, and Arsenal with a game in hand. And the question as to where Sir Alex Ferguson would be sitting inside Old Trafford for this game as he starts this domestic ban from the touchline. We've just seen him just over to our left, in amongst all of the people on their feet in the director's box. He's come out of the entrance there, and he's just going to be over the other side of the entrance, sitting about 10 or 11 rows back in the director's box.
Somebody said to me, coming into the game, John, they said, where do you think Alex Ferguson will sit? I said, wherever the heck he likes, I would imagine, you know. Anyway, there he is. I don't think he'll like being there for 1 minute. You know, people have said to be coming in, it's severe punishment. That's the punishment that's laid down. He's going to have to abide by it. That's the end of it.
Let's have a look at the team that he's picked today, Jimmy, and you can have your say on it. United, Van der Sar, Brown, Smalling, Johnny Evans and Evra. Midfield of Valencia, Carrick, Giggs and Nani, with Rooney and Hernandez up front. Well, that team has just gathered together around the centre circle. The players with arms around one another, likewise the Bolton players, for a period of silence in memory of those who died in Japan. And Jimmy, just while we're thinking of others, I'm sure you and all of us would like to send out a message of support to Brian Robson as well, who we learnt this week has undergone surgery for throat cancer.
Yeah, yes, it's a difficult time. You know, it's very similar to the illness I had, but if he comes through like he did, you know, when he was playing football, you know, he'll be fine, because he was a really resolute character. Great footballer, and our good wishes to you, Brian. I know he tries to listen to our programme.
Yes, so we will all send him the best. As this game gets underway, the leaders, Manchester United, against Bolton Wanderers in 7th on their best run of form all season, and immediately Giggs with a burst to the edge of the area, which has walloped away out of play on the right-hand side for a throw into United. I've given you the United side. The Bolton team, Jaskalainen in goal. At the back, Steinson, Cahill, Wheater and Robinson. Elmander, Muamba, Holden, Petrov, Sturridge and Kevin Davis. So Bolton making just one change from the side that started in the FA Cup last Saturday afternoon and reached the semi-finals, and that is Sturridge, who couldn't play in that game, back in for Klasnic, who's on the bench. Manchester United coming forward, Valencia's cross into the middle, and Wheater is there to head it back out towards Valencia on that right-hand side. Already a goal in the Bury-Cheltenham game. Cheltenham have taken the lead against Bury, who are currently second in League 2. So Bury 0, Cheltenham 1. Valencia, I mentioned, starting a match for Manchester United for the first time since September, since that horrible ankle injury I'm sure you have seen pictures of back in September. Nani with a shot from 30 yards plus, but he dragged it well wide and behind for a goal kick. So what do you make of the teams today, Jimmy?
Well, it's a very attacking lineup that Alex Ferguson has picked, you know, and I think a lot depends on how they permutate in that central area with Giggs and Carrick, I think, as much as anything. But Rooney's coming back to a bit of form now, and of course Hernandez, well, he's been an absolute revelation. It's his running off the ball which is so important, and Rooney, of course, has terrific vision, and the two together have been a real potent weapon in the last few weeks.
And as for the defence, Brown, Smalling, Evans and Evra, today they're up against, amongst others, Kevin Davis, Daniel Sturridge, Elmander, who started on the right-hand side, test for them.
Yes, and Petrov will try and get up there as well. Bolton are actually having a good run at the moment. In all competitions, only lost 1 of 9.
Steinson, ball into the area, only half cleared. Elmander's onto it, lays it back for Muamba, whose touch was very heavy, arriving inside the box, and all he could do was deflect it behind for a goal kick. But that was a chance. Get a word from Jimmy on that in a moment. But an early goal at the Hawthorns, Mark Pugac.
West Brom have scored. Corner left-hand side by Shorey. Stephen Reid jumped. Sanya didn't. Headed it past the returning Almunia. West Brom 1, Arsenal 0.
The first indicator that this could be a dramatic afternoon's football, with Manchester United and Arsenal playing at the same time, the top two, and so many games down the bottom end of the Barclays Premier League table between the teams who are vying to stay up down there.
Well, there's a chance there for Bolton, I thought. I mean, so there was a slip-in by one of the Manchester United players. It let Almander in on the right-hand side. He was on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he rolled it back. I don't know why he didn't have a shot at goal from where he was. And Muamba was running at pace, and it was just slightly behind him, and he finished up running out of play. But that was a real chance for Bolton.
I think it was Carrick, actually, who made the slip inside the area. But United got away with it.
Yeah, it was a chance.
So still Manchester United 0, Bolton 0 on this lovely afternoon on BBC 5 Live. And Andy Gillis in Edinburgh has an update from the Six Nations.
Italy back in front. Mirko Bergamasco has kicked his first penalty of the afternoon. They lead by 8 points to 6, but their try scorer Andrea Massi has just gone off injured. He's had to be replaced.
And after we're done with the football, these 3 o'clock games, all of the focus will then be on Ireland against England in the Six Nations as England go for the Grand Slam. And then France against Wales is also on 5 Live tonight, kicking off at 7:45, and we'll have all of the news as well from the Everton-Fulham 5:30 kickoff. But the 3 o'clock game's underway and already bright action. And it is Sturridge for Bolton to Steinson on the right, who's again pushed up that right-hand side, got the crossover, cleared away by Smalling, out for a throw.
Yes, good play by Bolton down the right-hand side. Actually, Johnny Evans got caught. The ball was played on the inside of him. He shouldn't let that happen. And the cross actually was just a little bit too low.
So a throw for Bolton. White shirts with red trim, red numbers on the back, red names on the back, dark blue shorts, white socks. Holden, left-footed cross into the area, cleared away at the back post by Valencia, and then Rooney plays it away out towards the right-hand side, and the figure of Valencia is there, the Ecuadorian. Certainly a lift for Manchester United to have him back as we approach the closing weeks of this season. And also, because I haven't mentioned it since kick-off, Park Ji-sung among the substitutes for Manchester United today. So, it's a long injury list, but, there are a couple of positives.
Oh, yes. There's quite a few players here. They've got a big squad of players. That's why they're on top of the pile still. And, of course, they've got this wonderful home record, John, as well.
Yep, here's Rooney, 25 yards out, shoots! Oh, that was close! Jääskeläinen moved to his right. I think for a moment he feared that it might be finding the top left corner, but it was a whisker wide.
Terrific shot. He's bang in form, of course, Rooney, just at the moment. I thought he was excellent the other night in the European match, but that was a shot really of a player who was full of confidence.
Yep, Rooney, 6 goals in his last 10 appearances now, so he is warming up. It is Bury 0, Cheltenham 2 now. And to Wigan. News from Wigan comes from Stuart Hall.
And the goal has gone to Birmingham. It's Wigan 0, Birmingham 1, and it's what they deserve, because Birmingham come here to win. Craig Gardner scored it. It was a long free kick. Jerome headed it on. There was Craig Gardner to net his 6th goal of the season. So we have a real game in our hands now. It's Wigan 0, Birmingham City 1. John.
Thank you, Stuart. Brentford have just taken the lead against Leyton Orient as well. Brentford 1, Leyton Orient 0. 0-0 here, Manchester United and Bolton. Arsenal trailing 1-0 at the Hawthorns against West Brom. And now Cahill has carried the ball a long way, plays it to the edge of the area, only half cleared by Carrick. Holden on his left foot, but got right underneath it and landed it halfway up the lower tier of the stand to our right.
Positive though from Bolton. I like the way the back 4 players are coming in, joining in with the midfield players. So what it does, it gives support that to the front players. It was a good run really from Cahill from the central area, but Holden couldn't provide the finish. They haven't started too bad, Bolton, at all. Bit of confidence in their ranks as well.
Yep. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. You can see patches of blue sky above. There is sunshine on over half the pitch at the moment, and very few spaces inside the stadium here. 75,000 plus, I would suspect, inside the ground. Such an intimidating place, I would imagine, to come to. You know, we forget sometimes because we come here so often. You know, if you're a visiting player coming here, just the sight of the place outside.
'Twas ever thus.
Yeah,
yes,
well,
'twas ever thus. It was always been, you know, a real centre, this house.
And that's why
it's what I call it, but it is a tight fit for us, especially here in the press box. Yes, it is. Very tight fit.
Yes, I'm not surprised they get so many people inside the ground.
I don't think you or I are overweight, John.
No, I don't think we are. The United here, I mean, and that's one of the reasons, as well as the fact that they've got a very good team, that they've dropped only 2 points at home this season, when West Brom, strangely, got the 2-2 draw here in October. West Brom, who are winning against Arsenal right now and doing Manchester United potentially a favour.
I've always thought, John, when a team has a great record at home in the league, I always think that's championship material. I've always felt that. Sometimes it can be much harder to win at home than it is away, when you've got to take the game to the other team always.
Well, of course, it's not just the league, is it? In all competitions, it's an unbeaten home run of 25 matches in all competitions. But United in possession at the moment. I wonder about central midfield for United today, with Carrick and Giggs playing in there, but Evra plays it over the top. Nani, left-hand side with Valencia on the right. Nani's onto it. Steinsson does well, the Icelandic right back. Nani was very nearly round him, but Steinsson stood up strong, kept with him, and put in the tackle to put it behind for the first corner of the game.
Yes, it was a good challenge. I thought he did well there. The ball was knocked over the top. It was a nice ball over the top, and Nani's got a bit of pace coming in on that left-hand side. Anyway, it's a corner to Manchester United.
Nani to take it. Just waiting, standing down the little slope at the Stratford end to our left. A line of stewards disappearing up the steps. Taken in, Nani, flick at the ear post, and it's headed away at the back post by Wheater, and then cleared further away by Sturridge. Daniel Sturridge, who's made such an impact on loan from Chelsea, 4 goals in his 5 appearances for Bolton so far. Nani's got it again in the full-back position. Right-footed cross swirls in towards the back post. Brown is after it, bounces down. Hernandez shot. It's blocked by a defender wide. He's appealing for handball. I'm not sure Cahill knew very much about that. It hit him, really, and deflected wide of the post. Yes. But the little P there was like a cricketer at the World Cup appealing for LBW when he was sure it was out.
Yeah, it was a good header back home by Brown, and what he did, Cahill threw himself at the ball if it did hit his hands. I think the referee is absolutely right. Corner kick.
Corner's taken, swung in from the right-hand side, falling header away by Robinson for Bolton, and he's actually with that header found Sturridge, and Sturridge is away downfield now. Red shirts piling back, trying to keep up with him. Still in possession, Sturridge, and then the pass from him at close quarters to Holden was just a little astray, a little wide of him, and out of play for a throw-in, which was taken back to Van der Sar rather wildly. And in actual fact, the apology goes out there from Michael Carrick for what was a very difficult ball for Van der Sar to control, but he did so, and the ball is back in play. Crystal Palace 0, Derby 1. Stephen Pearson putting Derby in front in the Npower Championship, and Bradford 1-0 up on Northampton. So Manchester United 0, Bolton 0 on 5 Live on this lovely afternoon. And we'll go round all of our featured matches, and let's head back to the Hawthorns first and Mark Pugach.
West Brom 1 up. Stephen Reid, his first Premier League goal for almost 5 years, unmarked from a corner taken by Chris Brunt after 3 minutes. You would never think that Arsenal had a chance of winning the title. They've started so slowly. West Brom 1, Arsenal 0.
Earlier in our first commentary match, it sounded eventful. Tottenham 0, West Ham 0, though, the final score. So with that point, West Ham move out of the bottom 3. Birmingham drop into it. But Birmingham are still 1-0 up at Wigan. Next port of call is Villa Park and Pat Murphy.
Wolves 0, Villa 0. Already they're under the hammer, the Villa players from the crowd. They're getting frustrated. Makeshift defence. 3 of them are aged 19, 20 and 21. Wolves superior. 2 good saves already from Friedel. Villa 0, Wolves 0.
Next it's Blackburn and Blackpool, both of them just above that relegation line. Alistair Bruce Ball.
It's 0-0. Early chance went to Blackburn, volleyed over the bar by Jermaine Jones. Brilliant banner in the Blackpool end. Jesus satisfied the 5,000 with 7 loaves and 2 fish. Ian Holloway's done it with 11 tangerines. Blackburn 0, Blackpool 0.
Bolton have got a free kick. We'll go to the Stoke Newcastle game once we see what Bolton do with this, Jimmy. It's right of centre. less than 25 yards out.
Yeah, I think they were fortunate to get a free kick here, Bolton, there. He went down rather easily, I think, with the challenge coming in from Evans behind. You've got to watch it these days, though, and you're a central defender in the middle area there. If you get too close, forwards quite easily go down. The referees, anyway, given a free kick. It's about, 3 or 4 yards outside the Bolton penalty area, just to the right of the D. Could be dangerous. Petrov's the man with the left foot. Let's see if he takes it.
By the way, the replays of that Hernandez shot that hit Cahill show that it did clearly strike the arm of the Bolton defender. But
he just dived in the way. I don't think you give a penalty for that, John.
I
That's
think
definitely
it would be
Paul Tarn, yes.
Yeah. So this free kick then, chance for Bolton here. Well, the wall, I must say, from our vantage point, looks absolute maximum 10 yards. Petrov strikes it well. Van der Sar moves quickly to his right and just pats it down. Anticipated it,
absolutely
ready.
Real experience, yeah, and he's been good of late. There's needed to be once or twice, but he has been very good. Anyway, total composure on that.
Valencia does well to keep possession for United against Moamba. Giggs plays it over the top. Hernandez was very nearly onto it, but the man in the orange shirt, the Bolton goalkeeper Jääskeläinen, came sliding out on his knees to claim it. Oh, Sturridge gets a fortunate bounce of the ball off Evra. Sturridge now attacking the penalty area. He's on his left foot. He goes round Carrick, but the ball ran away from him. But he came into the challenge and won it very easily against Valencia. So Bolton still with it. And it's out on the left-hand side with Petrov's cross is straight into Brown. Comes back to him, though. Back to the Bulgarian. Back to the left back to Robinson. High to the edge of the area where it's headed down and away by Giggs. Bury have got to go back against Cheltenham. Bury 1. Cheltenham 2 now. And Steinson actually goes all the way back to goalkeeper Jääskeläinen, whose clearance is straight at Nani. And now Valencia to Carrick in the centre circle. Forward to Rooney, who just dropped a little deep there to take the ball. Oh, poor pass from Rooney gives it away to Petrov. And Petrov, in what's been quite an open start to the game, is interrupted by Valencia. And now an immediate ball over the top from Giggs, who was thinking about the run from Nani, but it didn't come. And so Bolton have got it back. Jimmy Armfield's here with us, the former England captain.
Sorry, John. I think what Manchester United did, they're into the format I saw the other night when they were playing the European game. Rooney just lying deeper, than Hernandez. Hernandez is playing on the shoulder of the two central defenders of Bolton. And what he's doing, he knows he can lick them for pace, the pair of them. So, it's whether Bolton can prevent that pass from somebody like Rooney or Giggs sliding that ball in for him.
Half-time at Murrayfield. Andy Gillis.
8-6 to Italy. Massey's try, Bergamasco's penalty, 2 Chris Patterson penalties for Scotland. He's just missed one on the stroke of half-time, which would have given the Scots the lead. 2 significant players have gone off injured. Ansbro for Scotland and Massey, the try scorer for Italy. 8-6 to Italy at half-time.
Almost quarter an hour played at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0, still West Brom 1, Arsenal 0. Let's continue around the ground. Stoke Newcastle then. David Oates.
It's 0-0, but play very much end-to-end. One really good chance. Pennant's corner for Stoke, headed wide by Wilson. That's the only real clear-cut opportunity so far. Stoke 0, Newcastle 0.
In the Clydesdale Bank Premier League, the early kick-off finished Kilmarnock 3, Motherwell 1. Latest in our featured game in the 3 o'clock kick-off, St Mirren have just taken the lead. So Hearts 0, St Mirren 1. We'll hear from there very shortly. But into the N-Power Championship, where Sheffield United had a really important win, a big win for them in the 1 o'clock kick-off. 2-0 against Leeds United, but Sheffield United do stay still in the bottom 3. As for the 3 o'clock games, Doncaster QPR, John Hunt has moved quickly from Cheltenham to Doncaster.
Yes, lovely day in South Yorkshire here. Doncaster 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Frank Musa for Doncaster has just hit the post, an effort from 6 yards out, but that's been Doncaster's only effort. It's been Queen's Park Rangers all the way. Helgeson hit the bar for them after 4 minutes. And today for Rangers, John, Adel Taarabt missing his first championship game of the season. He's ill, but they're not missing him at the moment. Doncaster 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
Thank you, John Hunt. I'm surprised he can talk today, Jimmy, after the Gold Cup yesterday.
That's right.
Really enjoyed the coverage this week for everyone who was involved in the racing team.
An amateur rider as well, eh?
Yeah, it was a great story, wasn't it? Also in the Championship, Leicester 0, Portsmouth 1, David Nugent for Portsmouth. That's his 12th goal of the season in all competitions. Next, Hull City against Norwich, Ross Fletcher.
Well, Norwich City 0, Hull 5 points off the playoff places. Norwich second and unbeaten in 7. Both teams giving it a go. The only effort though for Norwich, Wes Hoolahan forcing a save with his shot from the edge of the area. 0-0.
Let's get the details on St Mirren's goal at Hearts from Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Michael Higdon scoring his 10th of the campaign. He should have had 2 earlier on. There's nothing he could do to miss this one. No, free kick floated in, knocked back across goal. Marion Kelly on the Hearts goal, nowhere to be seen. There was Higdon just 3 yards out and hammered the ball into the empty net. Hearts 0, St Mirren 1.
Bolton free kick here into the Manchester United box, headed away by Smalling, cleared away by Nanny. So back to the Championship. 2 of the top 6 meeting at the Liberty Stadium. Alistair Durden.
Yes, there's no goals at the moment, but news of that Leeds defeat's been a welcome lift to these two. Been looking a little heavy leg recently. Bright today though. Forest have survived an early penalty appeal. Konchesky on Dyer, but it is Swansea 0, Forest 0.
And Will Perry's watching Millwall and Cardiff.
It's still Millwall 0, Cardiff 0. John, Cardiff have started the better side. Their pace and passing far superior at the moment. Kenny Jackett's side yet to get going. It's goalless at the New Den.
In League One, we're with second place Huddersfield at home to Swindon. Steve May.
Well, it's 0-0 here. Huddersfield's Danny Ward, who's making his home debut here this afternoon, has headed against the bar from 6 yards out. But before that, Swindon very nearly took shock lead. Matt Ritchie hitting wide after being given the ball by Town's Jack Hunt. It's 0-0.
So Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. And Bolton just temporarily down to 10 men at the moment, with Daniel Sturridge changing his boots on the touchline.
Been on the field 18 minutes, he's changing his boots. I don't get that.
No, well, neither do I, and I'm sure many people won't either. So news on Sir Alex in a moment, but Nani on the left-hand side approaches the penalty area, plays it with the outside of his boot. Muambo is there to walk it away for Bolton. I've just seen, Jimmy, Sir Alex, we've seen a picture of him with a white telephone on the line down to Rennie Mullenstein, one of his lieutenants, who's down on the bench. So, you know, that's how they're going to do it again, with a landline. Very old-fashioned. Manchester United in possession inside their own half, and Carrick just checks and gives it back to Johnny Evans. Comes back to him. Evans, right-footed ball diagonally. That looks too heavy. It is overhit through for a goal kick. So back to Ewood Park and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Blackburn 0, Blackpool 0. Huge moment of controversy here though. Blackpool thought they had the lead. Charlie Adams' free kick volleyed in by Luke Varney. Blackpool were practically back at the halfway line, having celebrated their goal. 7 or 8 seconds went by and eventually the offside flag went up. The replay suggests, I think the decision was right, but it came very, very, very late. Big roars from the Blackburn fans. It's still 0-0.
And let's get another update on West Brom Arsenal from Mark Pugac.
Still 1-0 to West Brom, who are showing tigerish commitment. Arsenal are in first gear. You wouldn't think that they had a title to win. Reed headed it in from a brunt corner, got above Ramsey. James Morrison, John, just a clash of heads with Koscielny. Absolute accident, but an awful lot of blood. And Morrison's now coming off with a towel on his head. It could be the Terry Butcher, or it could be stitches. We don't know. 1-0 West Brom.
Nani's away down the left-hand side. He's got away from Steinson this time. Pulls it across Hernandez in the middle. Good defending from Bolton. Wheater went with Hernandez. They slid in together, and the ball's deflected behind for a corner, which Nani takes quickly to Rooney. Bolton have got to be alive to this, but Rooney just checks it and plays it back to the captain today, Evra, who's allowed to carry it forward at sort of trotting pace, and gives it to Nani. And Nani on his right foot chips it into the penalty area, headed away by Cahill, and then a slip in the centre of the field from Carrick, and it comes back to Carrick, who hoists it over the top, and the offside flag is up. Well done, Wheater, for Bolton.
Yes, he did well, and they were getting a little bit of a tangle there, and there was no need for it. I don't know if you've noticed, Bolton have been playing the ball back to Jääskeläinen, the goalkeeper, from 30 and 40 yards, away from him, almost playing for security, as though it's part of a plan, really, just to get the ball relief into the defence as much as anything. Anyway, they got themselves in a tangle because little Hernandez there chased Jääskeläinen down, and they never really recovered from that, and they almost gave a goal away.
What do you think of him, Jimmy? Manchester United's number 14, Hernandez.
I like him.
5 goals in his last 5 appearances.
Well, not just the goals. What I like is he's got this style, that Jimmy Greaves had. I'm not saying he's a Jimmy Greaves just yet, but what the point about him is, I like the way, he just is on the edge of being offside all the time, but he's got this terrific pace, and then when he gets in the box, self-belief. Great asset. I like him.
Well, what a first season he's having. At 22 years old, I don't think any of us expected him. 16 goals to his name and in the team ahead of Berbatov. Michael Owen, by the way, is also among the substitutes for Manchester United today, but as I mentioned earlier, clearly this is the favoured pairing at the moment for United. But United have lost it, and Almanda's trying to make ground up the right-hand side into the area, but Evans came across. And he's given it away, Evans, to Kevin Davis. That was very, very careless. Kevin Davis just dwells on the ball, though. Played it back to Moamba. Sturridge is available. Got the ball caught up underneath his feet and played a back heel to himself. And then Almanda wins it in the air against Evra. Cleared away by Evans. United can't clear it from their own defensive third, but they do now through Evra. But Rooney loses it. Gary Cahill through the challenge and then into Evra. And he caught Evra there, who stayed down. Certainly don't want an injury to Patrice Evra at the moment. We'll tell you what happens. But there's a penalty at Ewood Park. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Just wondering, it's for Blackpool whether Howard Webb has decided to level things up here. Gary Taylor-Fletcher clipped, but he got his shot away and the ball had disappeared over the bar. Blackburn can't believe the penalty has been given against them. Blackpool, of course, have just had this goal ruled out for offside from Luke Varney, and now Charlie Adam back in the side has a chance to give Blackpool the lead. Howard Webb stands ready, blows his whistle. Here comes Adam, sends Paul Robinson the wrong way. Blackpool lead at Blackburn, and Charlie Adam very provocatively there stands in the Blackburn area in front of the Blackburn fans with arms wide to celebrate. Contentious decisions here, but Blackpool lead in the big relegation battle. It's Blackburn 0, Blackpool 1.
Well, sounds as though there are a few talking points to come from that game. There's a long way to go as well, Jimmy, so steady down a bit.
Lancashire derbies, they always were a bit of a hot pot, always were.
Evra is okay, he's back on the field. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. Goal at Swansea, Alistair Durden.
Yes, it's Swansea 1, Forest 0. Sublime goal too from Scott Sinclair, all his own making, plotting a slalom course around half a dozen Forest players before a polished finish past Lee Camp. Swansea lead 1-0.
Barnet have taken the lead against Morecambe. Barnet 1, Morecambe 0. Barnet second bottom of League 2 in the relegation zone. And Walsall 0, Hartlepool 1. And in the Championship, Crystal Palace have equalised against Derby. Dean Moxey, the fullback, against his old club. It's 1-1 between Palace and Derby at Selhurst Park. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. Carrick has also just been caught by Holden, but he's okay. I don't think it was too heavy, the contact from the Bolton midfielder on Michael Carrick. So United, Giggs, Evra then has to take it up. Almanda is after him. Nani just keeps it in and is approaching Moamba. Giggs makes a run. The pass from Nani goes to Rooney, middle of the half. He flicks it out towards the right hand side to Brown. Brown leaves it to Valencia if the cross is going to come. Valencia now still going round the outside of Petrov, gets the cross in. Rooney hits the shot, shoulder height almost, caught it on the volley, but it was close enough to Jääskeläinen to pat it down. We'll get a word on that from Jimmy in a moment. But Stuart Hall's seen another goal at Wigan.
I've seen the equaliser from Wigan, and it was very slack defending. Birmingham have been pretty shielding, I'll tell you, this first half. When they attack with 7. And when they defend, well, they've got to do better than this, because they thought the ball was going out of play. They didn't. It came in from the right, and Tom Cleverley said, "This is mine." And 3 yards out from goal, simply tapped in. Matricia's doing his throat on the touchline, but the score stands. It's Wigan 1, Birmingham 1.
Thank you, Stuart. Preston won in the week, their first win under Phil Brown. They've not won at home for 3 months, but they're 1-0 up on Coventry. Ian Hume for Preston, and Brentford now 2-0 up on Leyton Orient. It's a great effort from Rooney for United, and here he is again, Wayne Rooney. Challenge comes in from Kevin Davis, back deep inside his own half. Hernandez to Rooney, tried to give him it straight back, rattled around between several players, and Moamba cleared to the halfway line. He has Evans now, thought about playing it long. It comes to Evra. Evra runs at Sturridge. Giggs is there, back into the centre circle again. Carrick now, square to Smalling. And Smalling, he will hit the ball over the top towards Hernandez. Cahill got there with his head to nod it down, and Bolton have got it at the back. So there's been a goal at the Britannia Stadium. David Oates.
Gone to Stoke City in the 28th minute. A delightful goal as well. Jermaine Pennant with a lovely teasing cross from the right-hand side. And Jonathan Walters cushioned his header. Absolutely beautiful, beautifully giving Stephen Harper no chance whatsoever. Stoke 1, Newcastle 0.
And Ipswich have taken the lead against struggling Scunthorpe. Carlos Edwards, 1-0 to Ipswich. Petrov, ball into the area. Sturridge swung a leg at it. Didn't make contact. And Evans was able to clear.
It was a chance, John. I think Sturridge just missed the ball. It was a lovely drive in from the left-hand side. He got a slight deflection. It might have just put him off a little bit. It was a half chance, though, for Sturridge there.
He has Holden now, the fair-haired American international, high to the edge of the area. Almanda beats Evra in the air, but Evans was there to head it away. And what about that effort from Rooney at the other end, Jimmy?
Excellent. Brilliant volley. A bit like the one that we saw, we've seen televised a few times. Not quite with the same dexterity as that, and not quite the same accuracy, but it was right in the goal area, and it was a good save from Jääskeläinen.
Yes, he was sort of side on rather than back to goal when he hit it from near the edge of the area. Carlisle have taken the lead against Bournemouth. Carlisle 1, Bournemouth 0. And another goal at Blackburn. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Charlie Adam, the hero again, the last one from the penalty spot. This one a wonderful free kick, central position just outside the box, curled right into the top corner. Paul Robinson didn't stand a chance. Charlie Adams got 2. It's Blackburn 0, Blackpool 2.
Well, still a long way to go.
Still a long way to go.
Burton 1, Gillingham 0. And at Swansea, Alistair Durden.
Another goal for Swansea, stretching their legs now. 2-0, and a strike on his debut for Fabio Borini, the teenage Italian on loan from Chelsea. His first effort blocked, but kept his cool to score at the second attempt. Swansea 2, Forest 0.
Exeter have taken the lead against Yeovil. Exeter 1, Yeovil 0. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. Here's Mark Pugac again at the Hawthorns.
Still 1-0 to West Brom, but Arsenal just beginning to crank it up. They should have equalised. Clichy and Arsene combined beautifully. Clichy cross, Van Persie header hit the bar. Ramsey on his return from 4 yards hit it straight at Carson. 1-0 West Brom.
As for this game, Jimmy, 0-0. And to me it feels like we've got a contest here.
Oh, we have now. I was just a bit concerned earlier on. I thought Bolton, I just thought they might have got caught with the pace in Manchester United's attack, but they stood the ground well, the back players, and Manchester United really have not, the cohesion perhaps is the right word, they're not putting the game together as they can do, not just at the moment, so give credit to Bolton.
First goal of the game in the Hull Norwich match, Ross Fletcher.
And it's gone to the team in second. Hull City 0, Norwich 1. Defender Zach Whitbread with a towering header rose highest from David Frox's left wing free kick. Quiet game till the goal. Hull 0, Norwich 1.
Muamba edge of the area for Bolton, ran into trouble. Very nearly opened up for Bolton there inside the United penalty area, but Almanda can't keep the ball in on the right hand side, and it's out for a throw to Manchester United.
That's what they've done, John. I was trying to just weigh this up a minute ago. They've got Sturridge and Almanda being the front players, and Kevin Davies is just dropping slightly deep in that hole behind them. Just in front of Muamba is the holding player in the centre of midfield, and it's just given Manchester United a little bit of a problem in the last 10 minutes.
One of the stories of the afternoon so far has come at Middlesbrough, where Watford have taken the lead, and their top scorer Danny Graham has got the goal. That's his 26th of the season. And Danny Graham's now scored in 6 consecutive games for Watford. Valencia out to the right hand side. Brown with a cross. Rooney very nearly took it down with his back to goal. It ran to Almanda, who cleared. And Macclesfield 1, Torquay 0. So 0-0 at Old Trafford. At Villa Park, Pat Murphy.
It's still 0-0 here. It's a nervy match. Villa might have got something though when Young pulled the ball back. No takers. Just behind Bent. Stearman's been booked for a foul on Young. Delph is coming on as a substitute very early. Don't know for whom. Don't know if it's an injury or tactical. This really is a very, very important match, and it's mirrored by the way both sides are approaching it. Villa 0, Wolves 0.
Yeah, there are a few of them about today. Oxford are winning 1-0 against Crewe. A shot from way out from Sturridge. Yeah. That was very optimistic. It was like a back pass for Van der Sar.
Centre circle. You're not going to beat Van der Sar from there. He's been around the block too many times for that.
Here's Nani down the left-hand side. Nani up against Steinson. He's got a test on his hands as well. Steinson against Nani. Played back to Rooney. Rooney, square across the box. Valencia with a touch straight at Muamba, who half cleared it and then found, much to his surprise, that he was able to follow up and pass the ball away. But it's been lost by Sturridge. And Brown for Valencia down the right. And Valencia through to Rooney. Rooney pulls it back. Hernandez just wide with his right foot from 6 yards.
Well, Manchester United's best move of the match, really, and Sturridge really gave the ball away on the halfway line. I know he was looking for a foul. He's gone to the referee looking for a foul, but he lost the ball. Valencia played it onto Rooney, lovely little pull back, and Hernandez running onto it. He just had to pull it back. It would be better if it had been the other way around. I think Rooney would have hit the target from there, but Hernandez has missed the chance.
In one of the big games in the Football League, in League Two, Shrewsbury have taken the lead against Wickham, 1-0. Both of those sides chasing promotion, but 0-0 here. And at the moment, I think you'd have to use that phrase, the opening goal could go either way. They've
well, you're right.
They've both flirted with it.
They have. You know, you wouldn't say either side was on top in this particular game. You know, I think Manchester United just trying to sort this midfield area out. Carrick seems to be the man who was playing the holding role in front of the two central defenders. But we haven't seen a great deal of Giggs, have we, in this game so far?
No, we haven't.
They need to get him into the game a little bit. He's playing in the centre midfield role.
There's been a try at Murrayfield. Andy Gillis.
It's Scotland's first try at Murrayfield in the Six Nations since 2009. It's gone to Nick DeLuca, the replacement in the far corner after incessant Scottish pressure. Chris Patterson will have the conversion to come, and it's 11-8 to Scotland.
And 5 Live Sport today is on air until 10 o'clock tonight, so good luck to the production team. There'll be some stiff bottoms by the time we get round to 10 o'clock in the studio. From 5 o'clock, Ireland against England. From 7:45, France against Wales, the two Six Nations commentary games to come. But already today, if you've been listening since 12 o'clock, you'll have heard Tottenham 0, West Ham 0, the final score at White Hart Lane. And currently in the Premier League, it is 0-0 here at Old Trafford. Arsenal are losing 1-0 at West Brom. It's also Aston Villa 0, Wolves 0, Blackburn 0, Blackpool 2, Stoke 1, Newcastle 0, and Wigan 1, Birmingham 1. Jimmy.
Yes, Manchester United, the crowd really just trying to lift United a little bit. And, well, so far, I must be honest, unless Valencia looks to carry a little bit of threat down the right, but Rooney's the man really who's making anything happen. He's the one he's playing just in a slightly withdrawn role, but really so far they've not been able to get Hernandez, firing as they can do.
The conversion was missed by Scotland, but they lead now by 11 points to 8 against Italy at Murrayfield. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0, as Kevin Davis plays it forward to Sturridge. Kevin Davis now again out to Steinson on the right. Steinson, curling, cross towards the back post. Wes Brown was there to head it up and behind into the lower tier of the stand. Middlesbrough have equalised against Watford. Scott McDonald, it's 1-1 at the Riverside, and Stevenage 0, Lincoln 1.
He's still prepared to push the fullbacks forward, Bolton. It just shows a little bit of confidence in the team. Good cross by Stanton, and Brown did well to just head that behind. Play for safety. Corner to Bolton.
Holden to take it. Here's a high in-swinger towards the back post. Cahill challenged by Smalling. If you believe what you hear, they might be teammates here at Old Trafford next season, possibly in central defence together. Cahill has continued and has the ball next to Rooney. Hits it into Rooney, bounces up in the air, and then Rooney just caught Cahill there as he tried to, I think he was genuinely trying to hit the ball with his right foot, and Cahill's leg got in the way.
Yeah,
free kick though.
I think Rooney was a bit unlucky. He had every right to go for that ball. It was a difficult ball for the pair of them really to get to. You've got to expect a physical challenge, but frankly the linesman was about 2 metres away from it, and I'm 50 yards away, so we've got to give the linesman the benefit of the doubt. It's got to be a free kick to Bolton, not far from the corner flag, right hand side.
Dagenham and Redbridge have taken the lead against Charlton. 1-0 to Dagenham and Redbridge. Macclesfield now 2-0 up on Torquay. Free kick to Bolton on the right. Still goalless at Old Trafford. Petrov to take it, so an in-swinger to the back post. Van der Sar thought about it, came, stopped, and Rooney was there actually at the back post to head it behind and out for a corner.
Well, that was terrific by Rooney there. On the back post, fighting for the ball there, after all the work he's done up front, because Wheater was the man who he beat to the ball, and he's pretty good in the air. It's another corner to Bolton, they're doing well at the moment.
This time from the left. Holden again raises his left arm. Here it comes, the delivery. This one in towards the near post. Wheater with a flick, bounce down, and it bounces for Manchester United. And Nani dummies it out for a goal kick. Barnet 1, Morecambe 1, equaliser for Morecambe. and a goal at Villa Park. Pat Murphy.
To Wolves, a superb goal from Matt Jarvis. The ball came over, not properly cleared, hit it on the volley, side-footed it in from 15 yards. Impeccable technique, a hammer blow in front of the Holt end. Villa 0, Wolves 1.
Some interesting goals and scorelines at the moment. And that is very much one of them.
There'll be a few darling 9 this week, I think, the way things are going.
Yes, and as we heard from Pat before the game, the first, if you want to term it this way, anti-Houllier banner from the Villa fans inside Villa Park today after the events of the week. So here at the top of the table, Manchester United 0, Bolton 0, and still West Brom 1, Arsenal 0 at the Hawthorns. And in the Scottish Premier League, Kilmarnock 3, Motherwell 1 was the final score. The only goal in the 3 matches currently in progress is the one at St Mirren, who are 1-0 up at Hearts. Bolton, Mwamba, under no particular pressure, passed it straight out of play, out of off the field, down in front of us, and it's taken quickly by United. Here is Ryan Giggs in the central midfield role today. No Scholes. He's suspended. No Fletcher, who's not been well lately. So pretty much a case of needs must. Darren Gibson for Manchester United is among the substitutes today, but Sir Alex, in his wisdom, has decided that Giggs was the choice in there alongside Carrick. Nani's just been caught there on the halfway line, so a free kick in the shadows now that are creeping across the pitch.
He went down there, but believe me, he'll be okay.
Stevenage have equalised against Lincoln. It's 1-1. Here is Evra now after the free kick was taken short up towards Hernandez. Bounced off him, and the white shirts of Bolton get it away through Mwamba. But Sturridge, who's given the ball away on a number of occasions, did so again.
Well, he's a very left-footed player. That's the problem Sturridge has always had. I remember him as a young lad at Manchester City. So quite a bit of him then, and he looked really promising. He's got to improve this right side of his game. If he's playing as a central striker, he's got to be able to play off both sides. And it's too much he's playing it off the left side, and that's where he lost the control of the ball.
Read an interesting interview with Sturridge in the Daily Telegraph this morning, in which he said, because he is on loan from Chelsea, says he spends his time in London going to the theatre, and he plans to go to the opera very soon as well. Ball out of play, it's taken a flick off a Bolton head, and it's a Manchester United corner. It's a cheap one, that. Here it is then. Giggs plays it into the near post, Brown's after it. Amongst a clutch of bodies, it hit one of them and bounced down for Kevin Davis to clear. And here come Bolton then, with Elmander, who's easily shrugged off the ball by Giggs and is then fouled by Elmander.
Great chase back
by the 37-year-old Ryan Giggs. And it's a free kick that's taken quickly. Valencia leaves it to Nani, who's out on the right-hand side now. Nani in field towards Rooney, tried to play it back to Nani, blocked, comes to Rooney, blast from Rooney, and it flew over the top of the crossbar halfway up the lower tier of the Stretford end.
Yes, Bolton had the players back, but really they didn't clear that. They had possession of the ball just for a few seconds, but Robinson, I thought, really he should have dug that one in and just get it away, and it came back to Rooney. He's hit it from about, as John said, about 26 yards, something like that, and it's just gone over the top. A real pile driver. He's had 2 now, pretty good shots. That wasn't far over.
5 Live. Let me just run you through the games that have goals in the Championship currently. Hull 0, Norwich 1. Swansea 2-0 up on Nottingham Forest. It is Crystal Palace 1, Derby 1. Ipswich 1, Scunthorpe 0. Leicester 0, Portsmouth 1. Middlesbrough 1, Watford 1. And Preston 1, Coventry 0. The other games all 0-0. And earlier Sheffield United beat Leeds by 2-0 at Bramall Lane. Free kick Bolton's way.
Yeah, the Bolton crowd there just cheering the referee because they feel as though he's giving everything against them. That was a foul, all right, by Evra. It's a free kick to Bolton. I think the only thing I would say about Bolton at the moment, they've done all right, but there's not a lot really gone at Van der Sar's goal, has there, so far?
No. So a free kick. It was Evra on Elmander near the halfway line, and Steinson is going to take it. Greta Steinson with 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes to go to half time plus added time. Players all on the line on the edge of the penalty area. Steinson, here it goes, high into the box, headed away by Johnny Evans, and then cleared away by Ryan Giggs towards the centre circle. Muamba beaten in the air. Hernandez then, I don't know what he was trying to do with it, but he gave it straight to Holden. And now Petrov down the left, ball in, takes a deflection. Van der Sar couldn't keep it out from going behind for a corner. Came off Hernandez.
Good chase back. Sorry, John. Good chase back by Hernandez there. He did well. It shows Manchester United's work rate is very high. Just a moment ago we had Giggs chasing back about 40 yards. Hernandez there, 50 yards back there to stop Petrov on the left wing. Corner kick to Bolton though.
Holden has taken the last two from the left. This time it's Petrov to the near post where it's headed away by Evans. Holden out to Petrov, chests it down, then juggles it, plays it infield to Holden, who did well actually to keep it, shouts for handball. Muamba then shoots from distance, got right underneath it and landed it again halfway up the stand.
Yes, no conviction with that shot at all. Holden did well to control the ball initially. Muamba was about 25 yards out there, but he never really had the ball under control. He thumped it high and wide. In the last third of the field, there's not enough threat coming from Bolton just at the moment.
Now there's been another try at Murrayfield. Andy Gillis.
Well, it's just like buses, isn't it? They couldn't score a try since 2009, the Six Nations, so they got another one after DeLuca's first for his country. Nicky Walker has gone over. Terrific run from the powerful winger, blasted through the Italian defence. Chris Patterson will follow up with the conversion. It's a slightly easier one this time, with Scotland at the moment lead Italy by 16 points to 8.
So Ireland against England to come from 5 o'clock from the Aviva Stadium. And if you're out and about tonight and don't get to hear what is said after the game in Dublin, you'll hear it all on Weekend Breakfast in the morning on 5 Live. And also the England coach Martin Johnson is due to be one of Gary Richardson's guests on Sports Week in the morning, our Sports Week programme from 8:30, when there's also, Gary tells me, an exclusive interview with Ron Goulet, the chief executive at Chelsea Football Club, which I think will be interesting to listen to. So that's from 8:30 with Gary in the morning. And then the Chelsea-Manchester City game, the commentary on that is on 5 Live tomorrow afternoon from 4 o'clock during our programme tomorrow, which isn't quite as long as the one today.
Another good run by Petrov down the left-hand side. It was Smalling who stopped it this time. Bolton have got possession. See, and the ball's played backwards again there by Muamba, and it's gone behind Robinson. It's put Manchester United on the attack. That would be a criticism if I was uncoiled, at half-time. You don't need to keep playing it back. The more you keep playing it back, the more it puts you on the defensive. You need to be a bit more adventurous, a bit more progression with it, I think.
It's happened on a number of occasions, hasn't it? And now, Patterson converted the try. It is now 18-8 to Scotland at Murrayfield against Italy. Corner to Manchester United. I'm not sure about that. I think it maybe didn't come off Robinson last. Anyway, it's taken short. Giggs played it to Valencia. Ball into the box, cleared. Comes out to Brown. Brown now, crossfield ball. Comes off the head of Steinson. Straight to Nani though. Nani against Steinson to the byline. Checks back. Plays it with his right foot to the edge of the area. Didn't reach Carrick because Holden read it. And Holden cleared it.
Fouled. He was fouled by Evans. He was trying to clear the ball there, and Evans actually came late on the challenge, and the referee Andrew Marinist giving Bolton the free kick. They were relieved about that. They came under a little bit of pressure there, I feel, and there's just a minute to go before the break. They wouldn't want to concede a goal.
Still 0-0, and Arsenal still trailing at the Hawthorns against West Brom, that early goal. Barnet 1, Morecambe 2 now. Barnet were ahead in that game, and Bristol City have taken the lead against Burnley through Brett Pittman, their top scorer, his 11th goal of the season. It's a good signing actually for them. Accrington 1, Port Vale 0 is another latest score. Ball over the top for Manchester United, for Bolton, but Davis and Almanda lost it. So here come United again. Nani, Evra has made a burst into the penalty area, but Holden, who's been quite influential in the game for Bolton, working very hard, got there ahead of Evra and cleared it. Comes back at the Bolton defence. Rooney has had a couple of opportunities in the game. Certainly one of the highlights, that shoulder high volley that he hit, but too close to Jääskeläinen. Now here's Giggs on the right, puts his foot on the ball, then back heels it to Valencia, and Valencia's got space to pick his spot, but he hit it into the first defender. Maybe a little bit of rustiness from Valencia there, and it was cleared. 1 minute of added time. The United supporters urging their team on as we approach the whistle. Carrick to Nani on the edge of the box, comes back to Rooney. And then Rooney, there is space on the right for Rooney to give it to Brown. Now Giggs into Rooney, 25 yards out, a wall of white in front of him, and it is flicked through straight into the path of Wheater, who gives it the good old-fashioned right boot, out of play, halfway inside the Manchester United half. He hit that. Another goal at Swansea, Alistair Durden.
Yes, life in this one yet, John. A goal for Forest. Chris Boyd making his full debut on loan from Middlesbrough, scoring with his 4th chance of this first half, tucking in from close range. Swansea 2, Forest 1 now.
It's also Dundee United 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0. Daniel Swanson and Yeovil have equalised at Exeter. It's 1-1 there. But the half-time whistle's gone here. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. Jimmy?
Yes, Bolton will be satisfied. They've restricted Manchester United. There's been a couple of efforts from Rooney, one spectacular one that was well saved by Jaskalainen. Bolton have had a lot of the play. The two midfield players have been defensive, Holden and Mwamba. Just one real chance for Bolton. It came in the first couple of minutes. Mwanda just put the ball wide of the post. But 0-0. They'll need to spark it up a bit, United, in the second half.
Let me also tell you that Middlesbrough are now 2-1 up on Watford. Andrew Taylor's got Middlesbrough's second goal. But the leaders here being held by Bolton. At half-time, it's goalless.
But at the moment, Manchester United making ground on Arsenal because West Brom lead Arsenal by a goal to 0. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Arsenal got a free kick on the right-hand side. The goal scored after 3 minutes, and Aaron Ramsey on his return has been central to what's happened in this first half. He didn't pick up Stephen Reid, who headed West Brom in front. Here comes the free kick, headed away by Olsen, very comfortably on the edge of the area, and then Wilshere can't get it under control. Reid heading in past Almunia, and that was his first Premier League goal for almost 5 years in a game of few chances. At the other end, then Ramsey, after Van Persie had hit the bar with a header, couldn't score from 4 yards. Carson smothered it. Arsenal a little bit flat, to be honest, put it off the ball occasionally in midfield and just not getting, they've got no pace, no one to go beyond Van Persie. West Brom comfortable playing on the break. 1-0 then to West Brom as we go to Pat Murphy across Birmingham at Villa Park.
It's Villa 0, Wolves 1. A splendid goal from Matt Jarvis 8 minutes before half time. An instant side foot from 15 yards as the ball dropped to him. Excellent technique. At the other end, Makoun unmarked, 10 yards out, headed wide, and that sums up Villa's performance. They've been disappointingly uncreative. The final ball very poor. Wolves have battled away hard, trying to hit Villa on the break. Gerard Houllier took off Baker, young Baker at left back after just half an hour. Brought in Delph to play in an unaccustomed position of left back, out of position. We assume it was tactical. At the half-time whistle, boos cascading down Villa Park in the direction of their manager. Villa 0, Wolves 1.
Half-time here at the Hawthorns then. Arsene Wenger with a face of thunder as he walks down the tunnel. West Brom 1, Arsenal 0. Stephen Reid with the header after 3 minutes. To Ewood Park, what an away win this would be, Alistair Bruce Ball.
What a first half it's been. Blackburn 0, Blackpool 2, or I should say Charlie Adam 2. One from the penalty spot, the second a sumptuous free kick. The penalty award was debatable. Taylor Fletcher going down over Ryan Nelson's leg after he got his shot away. Minutes before that, Luke Varney had a goal disallowed for Blackpool with a very, very late flag for offside. A correct decision as it proved on the replay. He had another one correctly ruled out for offside just before half-time. Blackburn in real trouble. Poor first half from them. Booed off at half-time. Blackburn 0, Blackpool 2.
To the Britannia Stadium. Stoke not completely safe yet. They should be. David Oates.
Well, they're leading at half-time. Stoke 1, Newcastle 0. Not the greatest of games. Both sides certainly giving everything. The only goal was a quality one, though, to Stoke in the 28th minute. Jermaine Pennant's perfect cross met by Jonathan Walters' cushioned header. Newcastle improved after that. Their best chance just before the break. Shane Ferguson, their substitute, with the volley, which was clawed away by Asmir Begovic. Stoke, I think, just about deserved the half-time lead. It's Stoke 1, Newcastle 0.
To the DW, Birmingham in the bottom three after West Ham's point earlier. They're at Wigan. Stuart Hall.
And it is Wigan 1, Birmingham 1, and Birmingham began high tempo, non-stop attack. 7 players up. They were going to win the match before half-time. Bridgewell sneaked in on 9 minutes to score his 4th of the season. Wigan overwhelmed on the ropes. But then on 27 minutes, Birmingham committed Harry Carey, the fullback's thing. A ball running dead, out of play for a goal kick. Boyce thought otherwise. He collared it, crossed, and Tom Cleverley on loan from Manchester United scored. It's one apiece. We have a game on our hands.
Everton Fulham at 5:30. Tottenham 0, West Ham 0 at lunchtime. Tottenham with so many chances. West Ham held held firm. Rob Green, a brilliant save at the end from Gareth Bale. Finished 0-0 there. Into the SPL, Hearts St Mirren, Brian McLaughlin.
Hearts 0, St Mirren 1. Hearts looking nothing like the side that roared into third place in the table to a man out forward now, battled by Saints. Just to one goal though, Michael Higdon, who should have had a hat-trick, nodding home after the Hearts defence failed to clear a McGowan free kick. I fear the Hearts players will be getting the Jim Jeffries hairdryer treatment in the dressing room. Hearts 0, St Mirren 1.
Result from lunchtime from Bramall Lane in the Empower Championship. Sheffield United 2, Leeds 0. Doncaster against the leaders QPR. John Hunt.
0-0 at half-time here, Mark. Very enjoyable game. It looked as though Queen's Park Rangers were going to steamroller Doncaster earlier. Helgeson hit the bar after 4 minutes. Tommy Smith, a great shot, turned around the post by Gary Woods. But Doncaster have slowly and surely got back into this, and Musa himself has had 2 good chances. He's hit the post and the bar with a header, and Doncaster have finished the first half quite strongly. It's Doncaster 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
Norwich in second at Hull, Ross Fletcher.
Hull 0, Norwich 1. The Norwich automatic promotion push helped by Zach Whitbread's 27th minute goal. A header from a free kick which Hull keeper Brad Guzan came for but was never likely to get. There's been little goalmouth incident, though Hull should be level. James Harper won't want to watch the Football League show tonight. He skied an open goal from 6 yards, while Matty Fryatt's mazy run and shot brought the best out of Norwich keeper John Ruddy. Hull not incisive enough. Norwich look very comfortable. Hull 0, Norwich 1.
Swansea City and Nottingham Forest both with eyes on the Premier League. Alistair Durden.
Yeah, and Swansea leading Forest 2-1. These two sides apparently looking jaded recently, but doing a fine impression of vitality this afternoon. Forest flattened by 2 goals in 5 minutes, struggling with Swansea's dizzying tempo and Scott Sinclair's quick feet. He scored surely one of the best of his 22 goals now this season, cutting in from the left, snaking past the Red Forest shirts before finishing crisply. Italian Fabio Barini, acquired from Chelsea this week, hammered it the second and hit the post. Forest had chances too. Chris Boyd finally took one just before half-time. Gutsy response from them. Swansea 2, Forest 1.
Just watching Chamakh warming up here, and so is another of the Arsenal subs, and I just wonder whether Arsene Wenger is going to be thinking about a change quite soon. Arsenal really have got to do something to get back in this game. West Brom 1 up at half-time. Cardiff City at Millwall today. Will Perry.
It's Millwall 0, Cardiff 0. Mark, pretty uneventful first half. Dave Jones's side just about edging it, a little bit more style and persistence. The best chance so far came from substitute John Parkin, forcing a save from Ford. Millwall have lost their captain Paul Robinson to a head injury. Darren Purse has replaced him. At the New Den, it's goalless between Millwall and Cardiff.
Elsewhere in the Empower Championship, half-time scores: Barnsley 0, Reading 0, Bristol City 1, Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1, Derby 1, Ipswich 1, Scunthorpe 0, Leicester 0, Portsmouth 1, Middlesbrough 2, Watford 1, and Preston 1, Coventry 0. Into League One, leaders Brighton drawing 0-0 at Oldham at half-time. Huddersfield in second at home to Swindon. Steve May.
Yes, they too are drawing 0-0 here. Huddersfield have done just about everything but score. Danny Ward on his home debut hit the crossbar. David Lucas and the Swindon goal made a splendid one-handed save from Gary Roberts. Roberts himself would claim that he won a penalty. Instead, referee Sargentson interpreted it as a Roberts dive, and he was promptly booked. It's Huddersfield 0, Swindon 0.
It's Brentford 2, Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle 1, Bournemouth 0, Dagenham 1, Charlton 0, Exeter 1, Yeovil 1 in a southwest derby, Huddersfield 0, Swindon 0, Notts County 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Confirmation Oldham 0, leaders Brighton 0, Plymouth 0, Rochdale 0, Tranmere 0, Colchester 0, at last a goal, Walsall 0, Hartlepool 1, Southampton Sheffield Wednesday at 5:20. League 2 leaders Chesterfield had a thumping home win last night. Half-time, Accrington 1, Port Vale 0, Aldershot 0, Stockport 0, Barnet 1, Morecambe 2, Bradford 1, Northampton 0, Burton 1, Gillingham 0, Bury 1, Cheltenham 2, Macclesfield 2, Torquay 0, Oxford 1, Crewe 0, Shrewsbury 1, Wickham 0, Stevenage 1, Lincoln 1. At the SPL half-times, Dundee United 1, Inverness 0, Hamilton 0, St Johnstone 0, and earlier Kilmarnock beat Motherwell 3-1. First Division, Dunfermline 2, Stirling Albion 0. Falkirk 1, Dundee 0, Greenock Morton 0, Wraith 0, Partick 0, Cowdenbeath 0, Ross County 1, Queen of the South 2. Second Division, Airdrie 1, Stenhousemuir 2, Alloa 1, Brechin 1, Dumbarton 1, East Fife 1, 4-0 Livingston 2, Peterhead 0, Ayr 1. Third Division, Albion Rovers 1, Clyde 1, Annan 0, Montrose 1, Berwick Rangers 2, Queen's Park 0, East Stirlingshire 1, Arbroath 1, Stranraer 0, Elgin City 1, Blue Square Bet Premier half-times, Altrincham 1, Tamworth 0, Bath 1, Grimsby 0, Cambridge 1, York 1. Eastbourne 0, Barrow 0. Fleetwood against Wrexham's 0-0. Late kick-off because of crowd congestion. Back to the half-times. Forest Green 0, Newport 0, Hayes 2, Kettering 1, Rushden 1, Southport 1. The leaders Crawley had an important win against AFC Wimbledon last night, of course. To the Six Nations, Murrayfield. Second half, Andy Gillies.
Scotland 18, Italy 8, 67 minutes gone. Scotland in the second half have gone ahead thanks to 2 tries. They hadn't scored a try at all in the Six Nations since 2009, but first Nick DeLuca with his first try for his country, then Nicky Walker with his second try, converted by Chris Patterson. That conversion giving Patterson 400 points in the Six Nations, and he's about to add to that. I think he has a penalty in front of the post. It's about 30 metres out. He's lined up the ball now, and this will give Scotland a 21-8 lead if he can put it over. Patterson now moving forward, right-footed, kicks the ball, he strokes it neatly between the posts. Scotland lead by 21 points to 8.
Just to reiterate, half-time at Exeter's Exeter 2, Yeovil 1 in that Southwest derby. Exeter 2, Yeovil 1. Let's go to the news with Tom Sanders.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
David Cameron says the time for military action in Libya is now. He's been in Paris at a meeting of international leaders discussing enforcing the UN resolution that's meant to end the violence there. It was hosted by the French President Nicolas Sarkozy, who confirmed that action had begun.
As of now, our aircraft are preventing planes from attacking the town. As of now, other French aircraft are ready to intervene against tanks, armoured vehicles threatening unarmed civilians.
Thousands of people have been fleeing the rebel stronghold of Benghazi, which has come under fierce bombardment from Colonel Gaddafi's forces, even though the Libyan government insisted that it's abiding by a ceasefire. David Cameron says the world must act.
Colonel Gaddafi has broken his word, has broken the ceasefire, and continues to slaughter his own civilians. This has to stop. We have to make it stop. We have to make him face the consequences. And so the time for action has come. It needs to be urgent. We have to enforce the will of the United Nations, and we cannot allow the slaughter of civilians to continue.
Our political correspondent Ross Hawkins is in the studio with me now. Afternoon to you, Ross. Tough words there from both Mr Cameron and from Mr Sarkozy, but we're seeing action now as well.
What's happened in short today is that conference of international nations in Paris, including vice of the Arab nations, has looked at what Colonel Gaddafi has had to say about a ceasefire, has looked at the reality of what's happening on the ground, and our correspondents report fresh attack on Benghazi, concluded the talk of a ceasefire is nonsense and made it very clear that action is imminent, if not actually taking place. Now, President Sarkozy, in his comments you heard there, said French planes were stopping Colonel Gaddafi's planes from attacking as of now. What is not clear is when UK forces might be involved. The only hint we get, and nothing from the British authorities, is from the Dutch Prime Minister, who told journalists at that summit that he thought British, French and Canadian aircraft would launch the first strikes.
You mentioned there the Arab countries. Will they have a role in this as well?
It was vital that they had a role in the diplomacy that led to this. The suggestion over the last couple of days is maybe as many as 5 could have some sort of direct role. What that will be is not clear. Frankly, it is more important in diplomatic and symbolic terms than it probably essentially is in direct military terms, but it has been vital for the diplomatic message that this is not some great US or indeed UK mission, but this is something that has regional support. We are moving now beyond the diplomacy to the military action. The question will be, will it work? Will it stop Gaddafi's forces? Can that be achieved from the air?
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Ross. Well, there's a 5 Live News special with a detailed look at the situation in Libya at 7:30 this evening on 5 Live, and we'll keep you up to date, of course, throughout the afternoon on all those developments. A look at the rest of the day's news now. The Japanese authorities have banned the sale of all food produced in Fukushima, the area around the wrecked nuclear power plant. Radioactive iodine was found in milk and vegetables from the area. The Foreign Office is advising against all non-essential travel to Tokyo and the northeast of Japan, and says those there should now consider leaving. For those that don't, it's issued advice on dealing with radiation. 2 children have been found dead by firefighters tackling a house fire in Bristol. Some of their relatives managed to escape from the blaze that began early this morning. A Peruvian man living in Devon has been arrested on suspicion of committing crimes against humanity. Rodrigo Grande, who's 46, is suspected of being involved in torture in Peru between 1984 and 1993.
5 Live Sports.
The Premier League.
Man United take on Bolton.
From 5 o'clock we'll have full commentary from Dublin as England bid for a Six Nations Grand Slam. Let's get a view now from England team manager Martin Johnson.
Fairly relaxed this morning. We went and did a little bit of a jog out. That's sort of why they are. They're quite relaxed, but yeah, the tension's there now. Obviously here for the big game, bus journey, and we're in the changing rooms now, so we're just getting ready. So there's not too much more you can say to them really. We just need to be thinking as well as doing, especially in this first 20 minutes. It's going to be very fast and furious. We just have to get things right. Obviously play with a huge commitment, but we've also got to be smart.
The rugby's live on BBC One. We'll bring you live coverage here from 5 o'clock on 5 Live Sport. At the Cricket World Cup, Pakistan 154 for 6 after 35 overs, needing 177 to beat Australia. England are definitely into the quarter-finals after South Africa beat Bangladesh by 206 runs this morning. And fresh from a successful Cheltenham Festival, the trainer David Pipe won today's Midlands Grand National at Uttoxeter with 25-1 shot Minella 4-star, ridden by jockey Conor O'Farrell. Arsenal coming up a goal down here, John. Their fans thought they had something to cheer about at half-time when the big screen said Tottenham 0, West Ham 1, and when they rectified that error, that brought another groan from the Arsenal supporters.
Well, there was a massive cheer here when the half-time score in your match came up, showing Arsenal behind. A couple of interesting changes here for Manchester United, though, to start the second half. Berbatov is coming on. We spent part of the half-time break here discussing whether Sir Alex may bring him on. And on he comes, and he's taken the place of Hernandez. And also, Fabio De Silva has replaced Wes Brown at right back. Before the second half gets underway, it's already been a goal in the second half at Stoke. David Oates.
There has, and the home side now lead by 2-0. It was put in from close range by Jermaine Pennant after what I can only describe as a catalogue of errors in the Newcastle defence. If I was to describe them all, I'd be here all second half. Stoke 2, Newcastle 0.
Well, if Stoke win that, that'll take them to 37 points. The FA Cup semi-finalists, of course, just like the two teams that we're watching here today. In fact, it goes without saying almost that this could be the two teams that play in the FA Cup final in May. In fact, probably the favourites to be there from the two semi-finals. But 0-0, so there's changes. Fabio De Silva and Berbatov on for Hernandez and Wes Brown. And quickly back to Mark Pugat to the Hawthorns.
Substitutions at half-time. Chamak's going to come on for Danielson, and also Marek Cech is going to come on for Paul Scharner. Arsenal have got to go for this, John. You would have thought a point's no good. So Chamak on for Danielson, who was pretty average in the first half and got booked, and Cech for Scharner.
Ball fell here while you were listening to Mark to Fabrice Muamba again. I think that's the third time he's had an opportunity to shoot from round about 20-25 yards. And they've all been wild, as was this one. Bolton, actually, Jimmy, have created very little in the game in terms of testing Van der Sar.
That's right. Muamba's had 3 goes at that, at shooting from that distance. His body shape's all wrong, actually, when he hits it. He's leaning back. He needs to get his chest over the ball and his non-kicking foot alongside the ball. He's done it about 3 times now. That was a half chance, really.
So, Manchester United with Giggs in centre field, central midfield alongside Carrick today, Ryan Giggs. Forward, knocked down and cleared out of play by Steinson. That was no nonsense. Into the north stand on the opposite side of the ground. The crowd, by the way, here inside Old Trafford, 75,386 today. Many of them in the sunshine, particularly the end to our right, the east stand, and Manchester United with the ball. It's played forward to Nani and cleared away by Steinson. So this is now the Manchester United side, or at least it will be in a moment when I give it to you, because it's come to Berbatov, who took it down on his right thigh and then played it to Rooney, and then Rooney very nearly found Giggs on the edge of the area. Cleared away by Bolton though. Fabio chips it. Here's Valencia right in front of us, the number 25, to the back post. Berbatov wins the header, bounces out to Holden, who heads it up in the air, and then it's cleared further away by the head of Cahill. And Kevin Davis wins it from Evans and Carrick. And now here's Elmander, the tall Swedish international, turns away from Nani and then has to turn away from him again because Nani's persistent. But he has got away from him now, Elmander, running from the halfway line. And then into more red shirts goes Almanda. But it runs for Bolton. And now Robinson to Petrov on the left-hand side. And Petrov inside Fabio. Then with the outside of his boot, read very well by Smalling. And Manchester United clear it to Rooney. As BBC World Service listeners join us here at Old Trafford with Manchester United on the attack, but Smalling rightly holds his head because he overhit the pass through to Jääskeläinen. So Manchester United 0, Bolton 0, and it's straight back to Stoke because there's been another goal, David Oates.
And it's another goal for the home side. So it's Stoke City 3, Newcastle 0, and there might be a fourth here. Well, Higginbotham just a shade away from adding a touch to a fourth, but he did get the third. Danny Higginbotham with a free kick, which he smashed in from 25 yards. Stoke 3, and out of sorts Newcastle 0.
Nani cutting into the penalty area on the left of the byline, chips it, took a deflection at source, and behind off Steinson for a corner, first of the second half.
Yes, and slight change of tactics now by Manchester United, of course. Berbatov, a more cultured player, you know, he's the one he's not going to be running off the shoulder as Hernandez was, but already the build-up's looking a little bit more like.
Corner then, here it comes from the left. Wheater heads it away. Another goal at Blackburn. Alistair Bruce Ball.
They were booed off at half-time. Blackburn are back in it 3 minutes into the second half. Chris Samber's driven the ball into the back of the Blackpool net. Blackpool just couldn't get it clear. Eventually it fell to Samber just inside the box, and suddenly Ewood Park believes again. Blackburn 1, Blackpool 2.
And in the Championship, first goal of the afternoon at Doncaster, John Hunt.
And it's gone to the leaders, Queen's Park Rangers, Hogan Ephraim, who is the man replacing Adel Taarabt, right out of the Taarabt textbook, in fact, cutting in from the right-hand side, and a beautiful curling right-footed shot into the back of the net. Doncaster 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
In League 2, Torquay have got a goal back. Macclesfield lead them, though, by 2-1 now. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. Arsenal still behind at West Brom. Manchester United with Rooney, who passes it straight into Petrov. Bounced back to him though. That was fortunate for Rooney. And he's now able to play in Fabio down the right, whose cross was too close to Jääskeläinen. So Manchester United with Van der Sar in goal. Now Fabio at right back. Smalling and Evans in central defence. Ever at left back. Valencia, Carrick, Giggs and Nani with Rooney and now Berbatov up front. And Bolton, as they were at the start of the game, Jääskeläinen, Steinson, Cahill, Wheater and Robinson, Almanda, Muamba, Holden and Petrov, Sturridge and Kevin Davis. Jimmy Armfield, the former England captain, is wedged in next to me here at Old Trafford.
Yep, and well, we've had a bit of a good run, I thought, there from Fabio down the right-hand side. He's a bit more accustomed, of course, to the role than Brown is. I think Brown's more of a central defender. He wasn't really getting forward enough, and I think not enough support and pushing Valencia on down this right-hand side. I think that's what Alex Ferguson has gone for with that second substitution.
Smalling chests it down at the back and plays it forward towards Berbatov, but Wheater, uncomplicated, was in there, just barged through like a bullet at a gate and put the ball out for a throw-in inside the United half. Andre Mariner very insistently points where United have to take this throw from. For those who weren't listening in the first half, Sir Alex Ferguson, the first game of his touchline ban, is watching from the director's box, and we have seen pictures of him on the telephone down to the bench during the course of the game. Oh, Rooney is tripped by Kevin Davis, made sure the referee knew about it, won the free kick anyway. And Will Perry has news of a goal at the Den.
Well, we're 4 minutes into the second half here, John. It's Millwall 0, Cardiff 1. It's a sloppy goal. A free kick from about 30 yards out. Chris Burke came round the back of the Millwall back four and literally just creeped the ball in. It rolled over the goal line. And we've just got a penalty here that's been given for Cardiff. Possible equaliser. Come back to me, John.
We will do. In League One, struggling Plymouth are 1-0 down at home to Rochdale. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. BBC 5 Live and the World Service watching Nani, who lost it on the right, and Steinson cleared from the right back position up towards Sturridge.
I'll tell you what's happened as well, John. You know, the sun's suddenly gone on that top over the stand there, and Jääskeläinen is looking right into the sun now. So are the Bolton defenders.
Manchester United win a free kick near the halfway line. Giggs plays it quickly to Rooney. Rooney away from Holden. Berbatov's offside. Free kick to Bolton.
Yes, nice little move. Giggs took the free kick very quickly. When you play Manchester United, you've got to be alert all the time. They've taken the quick free kick there. Giggs, long before Bolton were organised, and Berbatov went a little bit too early.
So back to Will for the penalty at Millwall.
It's going to be Liam Trotter that takes it for Millwall here. Up he steps into the bottom right corner. Cool, calm, collected from Trotter. It's Millwall 1, Cardiff 1.
And also in the Championship, Ipswich are now 2-0 up on Scunthorpe. Jimmy Bullard with the second. I must say it does look as though Scunthorpe are relegation bound, having sacked Ian Barraclough earlier in the week after that defeat to Preston. 2-0 down today, and Wickham have equalised against Shrewsbury in that important game at the top end of League 2. It's 1-1 there. Full time at Murrayfield in the Six Nations. Andy Gillis.
Scotland have won the opener of the day in the battle for the wooden spoon. 21 points to 8. Tries from DeLuca and Walker, and the boot of Patterson as well. Italy's try, a brilliant one from Massey, but it wasn't enough. 21-8. Scotland beat Italy.
Commentary on Ireland-England to come from 5 o'clock on 5 Live, and then also France-Wales from 7:45 after that. And in between times, actually, Matt Dawson, who's part of the commentary team in Dublin, will be taking calls with Ben Kay in between the Ireland-England and France-Wales games. So Van der Sar for Manchester United, who are defending the Stretford end in the second half. Rooney heads it down now. Carrick just away from Muamba to the left-hand side to Nani, and Nani now into the penalty area, plays it across to Rooney, tried to give it back, blocked by a defender. Nani's onto the loose ball, beats the defender, still Nani, and then eventually it's blocked by Holden out of the penalty area. There were options there for him, but it just became too congested. Here he is again. Nani shoots from 25 yards and it's straight at Jääskeläinen.
I don't think Bolton look quite as convincing since they've come out in the second half. Muamba and Holden are getting bypassed a little bit there. They just need to sort out that central area in front of the two central defenders. That'll be a little bit of a worry, I would think, for Owen Coyle at the moment.
Macclesfield have restored their 2-goal cushion against Torquay. It's 3-1 at the Moss Rose, and Tranmere have taken the lead against Colchester. It's 1-0. Tranmere 1, Colchester 0. Van der Sar clearing from inside his own penalty area, but he's put it straight out of play for a throw near the halfway line.
Slight change in Manchester United's tactics now, I think. Berbatov is the front man. He's the target man. But you've got Rooney and Giggs, and Valencia, and now they're sort of coming up just behind him. So there's a lot of work going to be piled onto Berbatov here.
0-0 at Old Trafford. Still West Brom 1, Arsenal 0. Other scores I'll run through in a moment, but it's Manchester United who are running at the moment, running forward with Valencia to Berbatov, who moves in from the right-hand side, very nearly found the pass through to Rooney, who'd made the run, but the long left leg of Wheater was stuck out and blocked it out for a throw, which Manchester United take quickly. Valencia with the ball at his feet as it's on the right flank. He moves into a more central area, then gives it to Giggs, who flicks it out towards the left-hand side. Giggs, Nani is there, slightly behind him, so that slowed the momentum. Evra makes a run, but Nani's still in possession. On his right foot, shoots, it's wild, over the bar, wide as well.
Yeah.
And there's been another goal at Hearts. Brian McLaughlin.
Yes, an equaliser for Hearts. Rudy Scatchell, his 10th goal of the season. Saints should have had the game dead and buried in the first half, but missed some glorious opportunities. Scatchell, those equalise a 25-yard screamer low beyond Paul Gallagher. Hearts 1, St Mirren 1.
So the other games in the Barclays Premier League, it finished Tottenham 0, West Ham 0, if you weren't listening earlier. Still, Aston Villa 0, Wolves 1. Blackburn 1, Blackpool 2. Stoke 3, Newcastle 0. Wigan 1, Birmingham 1. And we'll just, while Elmander is down having taken a knock, we'll just go back to Mark Pugac again at the Hawthorn.
Still 1-0 to West Brom, should be 2, John. It's like West Brom are the away team playing on the break. Check the sub, low cross, Brunt sliding in at the far post, put it wide. Nicholas Bentner's taking his tracksuit bottom off. I think Arsene Wenger's going to have to go for it with Bentner, Chamakh and Van Persie all on. Arsenal have created only one opportunity the whole match. Here's Wilshere bursting through the second. Might come back to Nasri. West Brom with men back. 1-0 West Brom.
Another goal at Swansea, Alistair Durden.
Yes, and Swansea have re-established their 2-goal lead, leading 3-1 now. A second goal for Fabio Borini on loan from Chelsea. Great predatory instincts inside the 6-yard box after a save from Lee Camp. 3-1.
Valencia plays it through for Berbatov, but it wasn't quite where he wanted it, so Wheater was able to get in the challenge and Cahill completed the clearance. Elmander is wanting to come back onto the field. They're asking the referee, Andre Marina, who has not signalled for him to come on. Elmander is still waving his arm at referee Mariner, who, even though he's looking out to that side of the field, is not allowing him back on. Finally, he allows him onto the field. I don't know whether you were listening earlier, Jimmy, and heard the incident at Tottenham, where Gareth Bale had to change his undershorts so that they were the right colour. I have to say that, well, we said it at the time for anyone who was listening, how crazy that is. This is the new FIFA directive. Here's Kevin Davis, now to the right-hand side to Elmander, who's back on the field, crosses, took a deflection, off Evra, straight behind, corner Bolton.
Well, that's the best move that Bolton have had since the restart. Nice little play. Kevin Davis almost inevitably involved in it. Elmander has just come back on after, I think he got a knock on his arm. He's come in and he's thumped the ball across and it's hit Evra and it's gone behind for a corner to Bolton. They haven't had many corners. And Elmander looks to me as though he's still getting a bit of treatment over there.
There wasn't anything wrong with his arm when he was waving it at Andre Mariner.
No.
Corner then to Bolton. I see Lee Chung-yong is going to come on for Bolton, their first change. Dagenham and Redbridge now 2-0 up on Charlton, who've really faded. Corner then to Bolton. Petrov in, and it's headed by Wheater, but no real contact on that, well wide for a goal kick.
It was aimed at him, John, wasn't it? I think it was aimed at Wheater. It was a very good corner, that, by Petrov. Here's a change now.
Yeah, Bolton making a change. Lee coming on. And it's Daniel Sturridge who is being withdrawn by Owen Coyle. While they do that, back to Pat Murphy at Villa Park.
Villa still trail 1-0 to splendid goal by Matt Jarvis of Wolves. The game's opening up as it has to for Villa, but Houllier just made 2 substitutions. Albrighton taken off for Agbonlahor and Rio Coca for Pires, which has sparked the first chant of the day. You don't know what you're doing from the Villa supporters, but they should have the penalty. Stearman contact inside the box on Bent. Free kick inconclusive just outside. Poor decision from Phil Dowd. Villa 0, Wolves 1.
It's now Brentford 2, Leyton Orient 1. Goal back for Orient. Lee has come on and he's gone out towards the right hand side, and Elmander is now up front with Kevin Davis. Smalling, careless back header, nowhere near Van der Sar. I'm not sure he knew how close Kevin Davis was behind him, but he's headed it out for a corner. This is interesting. Goal at the Hawthorns. Mark Pugac.
Absolutely shambolic defending from Arsenal. A long ball. Almunia came out of his penalty area. He and Scalacci left it to each other, clawed, and Odemwingie rolled it in from well outside the area. We've got a shot now of Jens Lehmann on the bench. A penny for his thoughts and for Arsene Wenger. West Brom have had 2 efforts on goal. They're 2-0 up. That was just appalling defending from Arsenal. Petrov
Blast the ball from the left-hand side, and I think there was a moment of discomfort from just a second there for Van der Sar, but it went wide of the near post and he takes the goal kick. So Arsenal, Jimmy, 2-0 down.
Yes, that's all they've got left to play for as well. You know, so much at stake here as well. They've got to get those players fit, haven't they?
And Manchester United, I mean, I'm sure many of the supporters will know now in here that Arsenal are 2-0 down, which underlines the importance of Manchester United needing to win this game. If they win this and Arsenal lose, then it'll be a 6-point lead that Manchester United have at the top tonight, albeit with Arsenal having a game in hand and Manchester United still having to go that.
It's a total comeback from 2-0 at the Albion.
It is, in the form that they're in. And what a great result it would be for Roy Hodgson's team. You know, it's been an instant turnaround. Dean Kiley was with us this time last week when we were doing the commentary at Queen's Park Rangers, and he couldn't speak highly enough of him. Actually, I heard him on saying it publicly with Colin Murray on 5 Live last night. Walsall have got a goal back against Hartlepool. Walsall 1, Hartlepool 2. Just run you through the scores again, because it's a really eventful afternoon at both ends of the table. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0 here. It is now West Brom 2, Arsenal 0, as we heard from Mark. And in the other games, Aston Villa 0, Wolves 1, Blackburn 1, Blackpool 2, Stoke 3, Newcastle 0, and Wigan 1, Birmingham 1. Groans from the home supporters, because another Manchester United ball to the edge of the area was easy meat for Bolton to deal with. Now Petrov on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, loses out. Misunderstanding with Robinson. Valencia's onto it down the right. Teasing cross, headed away by Cahill, and he had to make it as well.
Great header. It was a wonderful header, that, by Cahill. Good cross too from Valencia.
Manchester United pick up possession again. The volume increases from the home supporters. As I mentioned, I'm sure many of them will know the situation at the Hawthorns, and now anger and frustration at Johnny Evans, who didn't do anything with it in the centre circle, just turned and played it back to Van der Sar. Did a Bolton. That's what they were doing in the first half. But here's Holden now, who breaks from centre field. And now Petrov. Robinson sprints away down the left. Petrov, though, high cross over the top of Davis and
lazy, a bit lazy. I thought that was a bit lazy. He had the ball down the left-hand side. He had room. He could have taken Fabio on, and he took what I call the soft option. He just belted it into the middle, and there was no Bolton player up there.
Well, the news from the Cricket World Cup today: a defeat for Australia. Here's Elmander, right side of the box. Elmander taking on Evans. Evans with a challenge, bounces away. Elmander persistent, still going, ball still in play, breaks back. Kevin Davis with a shot, blocked by Carrick, who threw himself in front of it. And now Nanny's away, up the left-hand side. Bolton trying to get bodies back. Nanny's still in possession, needs to release it now, which he does. Rooney in space on the left-hand side. Rooney into the penalty area, up against Cahill, crosses, took a deflection. Wheater, it was deflected into his path, and Wheater was able to clear it away. There's another goal at Millwall. Will Perry.
We've got it all happening here now, John. Millwall have come from behind. They lead Cardiff by 2-1. It came from a corner. Scrappy, sloppy defending from Cardiff. Eventually headed in inside the 6-yard box by Kevin Lisby. It's Millwall 2, Cardiff 1.
Stevenage 2, Lincoln 1. Notts County 0, Bristol Rovers 1. And Manchester United now with the ball inside the Bolton half. We're going to go to Sri Lanka very shortly for the details on that World Cup game. But Nani, step over on his right foot, on the left, coming in field. Holden, very persistent. Rooney then gets a touch. Steinson dives in. Bolton can't clear it. Evers there as well. And in the end it comes off the Bolton defender, Steinson, and is behind for a Manchester United corner. We'll see what happens with this, first of all, because Manchester United are showing real signs of urgency, wanting to get on with it. Bradford 1, Northampton 1, equaliser for Northampton. And Exeter 2, Yeovil 2, equaliser for Yeovil. Corner then from the left-hand side. Nani to take it. 0-0 at Old Trafford. Here it comes. Jaskalainen punches it. Rooney bounced off him. Carrick plays it back in. Hit Berbatov. Cleared away by Kevin Davis. And here's Lee James in Colombo.
Australia's 34-match unbeaten run at the World Cup is over. Pakistan bowled Australia out for 176. They then reached their modest target with 9 overs to spare to win by 4 wickets.
Thanks, Lee. And if you didn't hear it earlier, for anyone who missed the news, Bangladesh were absolutely hammered earlier, and that meant that England are now confirmed as one of the World Cup quarter-finalists. And you'll be able to hear that on BBC Radio, on Sports Extra, Radio 4198 longwave. All of the quarter-finals, semi-finals and World Cup final on 5 Live, etc. over the next couple of weeks or so. Certainly England's games have been eventful.
Well, Lee's come on now for Bolton. He's playing out on the right-hand side, wide on the right, so they've got Petrov on the left, so there's plenty of width and a bit of adventure in Bolton. Slight alteration in the tactics.
0-0 still. Kevin Davis flicks it on. Elmander nodded it, tried to give it back to him, came at him very quickly, and Manchester United clear. Bury 2, Cheltenham 2 now. And Crystal Palace 1, Derby 2. Jamie Ward, Derby in front for the second time in the game.
Offside there, Berbatov. Crowd didn't like it, but it's just in Bolton's half. But the linesman was right. Berbatov was coming back.
So free kick to Bolton from the right side of the centre circle.
And Mike Phelan, the Manchester United assistant manager, is about a yard away from the linesman. I think he's had a word with him. Probably Merry Christmas, actually.
Steinson takes the free kick. Here it is. It's a very high one. Wheater nods it across the box. Half cleared by Carrick. Came out to Petrov. Wouldn't come down for him. Shot into bodies. And then Muamba stabs it straight through everyone to Van der Sar, who hurls it out acrobatically to Rooney, who's still inside the United half. Plays it down the line. Valencia trying to reach it, but Robinson timed his sliding challenge well and put it out for a throw. Oxford 2, Crewe 0, and Walsall back level with Hartlepool at 2-2. Throw in then for Manchester United, almost level with the edge of the Bolton box. West Brom winning 2-0 against Arsenal, but Manchester United, the leaders, being held here by Bolton. Carrick dispossessed by Muamba, and then Steinson looked as though he wasn't quite sure what to do with it. In the end, just hit it firmly away and out of play on the halfway line. And
not very constructive. Sorry, John.
I was just going to say, Brighton have taken the lead at Oldham. The League One leaders winning 1-0 at Oldham. I drove past Boundary Park earlier on today, trying to...
Slowly.
Yes, very slowly, because of the problems on the M62 earlier when it was shut. But I haven't been past Boundary Park for a little while. Looked lovely in the sunshine.
Yes.
But 0-0 here. There's been another goal at Hearts. We'll go to Brian McLaughlin in a moment, but the ball's chipped into the Bolton area. Weaker heads it away. So here is Brian at Tynecastle.
Mirren back in front, John. Michael Higdon is second of the afternoon. An absolute cracker, this one. On the edge of the 18-yard box, turning and then sending a left foot shot high into the roof of the net. It's Hearts 1, St Mirren 2.
And elsewhere in Greater Manchester, Cheltenham are in front for the third time in the game. Bury 2, Cheltenham 3. Nani on the right for United. Crosses it into the middle. Kay hides it away. Fabio's in there as well. Berbatov 2. And in the end, it is given as a corner. Wheater cleared it. And I'm wondering whether the final touch was off Berbatov. Certainly it's been disputed by the Bolton players, but they would, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would, but there was 2 or 3 players involved in that. They're under a little bit of pressure at the moment, Bolton. They need to keep the composure.
So a disputed corner has been given Manchester United's way. Giggs takes it to the back post, headed away by Kevin Davis. Comes out to Valencia, now Evra, back to Valencia. Picks his pass to Berbatov, left side of the box, back out of the area to Rooney. Rooney's cross from the left is a high one to the back post, where it is headed down by Smalling and straight to Jääskeläinen.
But they're getting the men forward. Both Evans and Smalling, the 2 central defenders, were there. Manchester United were actually in attack there when Rooney crossed the ball from the left-hand side. So Manchester United really going for it now.
It's actually become quite tense this now for Manchester United. You can feel it around the ground.
Yes, there is. Bit of tension in the play as well, John. Bolton in particular, the back 4 players who were defending well, but they're not very constructive. They're just prepared to get it away. It's very dangerous against a good team because they'll just come straight back at you.
Manchester United, who, remember, have dropped only 2 points at home all season, being held by Bolton. Here's Lee to Kevin Davis. And Davis tried to time the pass to Steinson, but hit it straight into Evra, and Evra played it off Davis and out for a throw to Manchester United. Let's just whip around the games in the Premier League. 0-0 here at Old Trafford. At the Hawthorns, Mark Pugac.
2-0 to West Brom, still digesting that. I mean, frankly, schoolboys wouldn't actually make the mistake that Arsenal did. Malumbu long ball, out came Almunia out of his penalty area. It bounced over Scalacci, who turned like the Queen Mary. Almunia was in no man's land, and Odemwingie rolled it in from 25 yards. John, it was almost as bad as Koscielny and Szczesny. To think that a team think they can win the league defending like that, no more questions, Your Honour. 2-0 West Brom.
Bristol City are now 2-0 up on Burnley. Nicky Maynard scored again for City. What's happening at the DW Stadium, Stuart Hall?
John, it is still Wigan 1, Birmingham 1. I had a cup of tea with half-time with Dave Whelan, who's put 100 million in this club, and he said, if we lose today or draw today, we are down. I think the message has gone through to the players. Rodriguez come on, suddenly backed up a bit. A lot of tension, no skill. Wigan 1, Brum 1, John.
And at Villa Park, Pat Murphy.
It's still Villa 0, Wolves 1. Wolves looking good for a second goal on the break now. O'Hara just over the bar, 25 yards. Friedel beat away Milias's shot. O'Hara, great chance, just lost control. The first chance that you don't know what you're doing of the afternoon when Pires is brought on as one of the subs after an hour. Villa 0, Wolves 1.
Stoppage here. Bolton fullback Robinson has a knock, so while he's treated, he has Alistair Bruce Ball at Ewood Park.
Blackburn 1, Blackpool 2, thrilling second half. Blackburn a different team after their break, got their goal early through Chris Samba. Martin Olsen's hit the post. Blackpool's defence really creaking. They still look dangerous on the break though. Paul Robinson's had to make 3 good saves. Watching Blackpool is great fun. It's Blackburn 1, Blackpool 2.
Yes, I think we all know that now. It has been
everything's fun in Blackpool.
Coventry have equalised against Preston. David Bell. It's 1-1 at Deepdale. And Exeter 2, Yeovil 3 now. And Stoke seemingly on the way to victory against Newcastle, leading by 3-0. Here's Johnny Evans for Manchester United. Rooney now to Giggs. Another goal at the Hawthorns. Mark Pugac.
Arsenal have got one back. Arshavin, who to be fair has played well, has just lashed it in past the left hand of Carson after Chamakh set him up. West Brom 2, Arsenal 1.
Manchester United very close to an opening goal here. Rooney set Berbatov up 14, 15 yards out. Berbatov curled it just wide of the top corner.
Jääskeläinen was nowhere near it. Manchester United are just pushing Bolton back now at the moment. That was a lovely ball in from the right-hand side. Rooney just teed it up, I thought, for Berbatov. He's just put it past the post.
Televisions have packed up in the press box at Old Trafford. What does TV no sync mean, Jimmy?
That means you're getting out.
Thanks very much. It's our technical correspondent, Jimmy Armfield. Macclesfield's 3, Torquay 2 now. Goal back for Torquay. And Barnsley 0, Reading 1. Mathieu Manset has scored for Reading, who are on a really good run of form. You saw them last weekend, of course.
Yes.
Not out of the picture completely in terms of promotion.
No, I was talking to some of the Reading people afterwards, and they're sort of in the situation that Blackpool were in at this time last year, you know. It's whether they can put it all together. They didn't have enough up front to beat Manchester City.
Manchester United 0, Bolton 0, but ball played over the top by Valencia for Berbatov. Great challenge by Cahill. Berbatov thought he was away there one-on-one with Jääskeläinen, but Cahill stayed with him and timed the challenge superbly.
It had to be timed perfectly. John's absolutely spot on. It was a great challenge, that, because Berbatov, you know, at first was favourite, setting off to a ball about 20 yards over the halfway line. Great challenge by Cahill. He's played well. Him and Weiser have played well today, very well.
Yes, Gary Cahill at 25 years old, having a very good game at Old Trafford, with Sir Alex watching, I'm sure, intently from the director's box, as is Fabio Capello. United come again. Giggs with a cross. This time it's Wheater who's there to get his head to it for Bolton. Out to Petrov on the left-hand side. The way that he's played today, Cahill, it doesn't seem too fanciful that he might be a United player. Ball forward for Bolton. Van der Sar came a long way and headed it down for Smalling to clear. Straight up in the air. Follows it up. Misses the header, Smalling. Elmander's there with him, and Elmander's won it back, and Lee plays it infield to Holden. Crunching collision with Evans. They got there at the same time, but referee Murren has given that as a Bolton free kick.
I thought it was a foul, that.
Oh dear, Holden's hurt here. The players are waving the medical people on, and one or two of the Bolton players are looking quite distressed here at the damage that's been done to Stuart Holden. And Elmander is leaning over him, and I see that more people are being waved on here.
Yes.
This doesn't look good for Stuart Holden.
No.
This really doesn't look good. And Steinson now urgently calling the stretcher people on.
Evans is off.
And Johnny Evans is sent off for the challenge on Holden.
Yeah, I must be honest, when they went for it, I thought, what's happened here? He had his foot slightly raised, but I didn't think of the extent of the injury. I just thought it's going to be a free kick. I don't think there's any intent in that. You know, I just think it's unfortunate, but there it is. The referee has had no sympathy with Evans, and he's gone, so obviously the extent of the injury must be quite severe here. So Manchester United have got to do some sorting out here. Alec, where are you?
Well, I don't know if he's on the telephone, down to the bench, but this is horrible for Stuart Holden, who's had such a fine season in the Bolton midfield, the USA World Cup player who has been around the houses and got his opportunity in the Premier League and has really done well. And here on this day, a challenge. I called it at the time, Jimmy, as a 50-50 ball.
It was.
They came together, and well, the referee is much closer than us, but he's seen that as a red card challenge by Johnny Evans, sent him off, so Manchester United down to 10 men.
And there's no dispute, John, either from anybody. You know, that was the thing. We're not in the best position, actually, to see that, funny enough. But the point is, you know, the referees had no hesitation. None of the Manchester United players have objected to it, but Holden is going to be taken off quite clearly. And Bolton are going to have to reorganise themselves. I hate any player from any team having a bad injury.
Well, we've not been able to see it again, as I described a little earlier, because of TV no sync, so we've only seen it once, and I'm told that it looks from the TV pictures that have been seen elsewhere that it was a lunge, Studge showing into his shin, definite red card.
I did say initially it's a foul, didn't I? The point was that we came in and he looked up, it was a sole of his shoe that came in, so his studs were there, obviously, and he's obviously caught him somewhere. Anyway, he's going off.
Well, the applause is for Stuart Holden, who is being stretchered off here in some despair. He's holding his face with his hands, and that's a horrible moment. You never want to see that happening. and Matthew Taylor has come on to replace him for Bolton.
Yeah,
so 0-0, and we've got 15 minutes, a little less than that, plus lots of added time to play here. Arsenal still 2-1 down at the Hawthorns at Millwall. Will Perry.
Well, I can tell you that it's now Millwall 2, Cardiff 2. Cardiff have just got the equaliser across from the right-hand side. It was smashed into the net, the empty net, by Peter Whittingham. And some pretty distressing scenes here off the pitch, John, because I'm hearing reports that a Cardiff fan has fallen from the second tier into the first tier here at the New Den. Now, he's surrounded by paramedics and police, about 20 of them at the moment. He's been lying there for about 20 minutes. I assume he is okay because they are still treating him. More on that when we hear. I hope he's okay, but it's Millwall 2, Cardiff 2 here at the New Den.
That's awful news. And obviously Will tell us more about that a little bit later on.
We don't need that.
No. 0-0 here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. 5 Live in the World Service. Elmander took the free kick, and it actually was round the wall, a low free kick that wasn't far wide of the post, but Van der Sar knew where his post was and let it go wide for a goal kick. So still 0-0. There's been a goal at Hull City. Ross Fletcher.
Hull 1, Norwich City 1. The Hull equaliser from the evergreen 37-year-old Nicky Barmby on as a second half sub, slotting it in first time from 8 yards from Matty Fright's left wing cross. Hull's first real chance of the half. Norwich, before that, brilliant defensive display, but it's 1-1.
Kevin Davis against the 10 men of Manchester United, but loses out. And that means that Michael Carrick is able to run away with the loose ball towards the halfway line and then hit a high diagonal pass out to the left-hand side that Valencia just keeps in play. And now he's up against Steinson, and he pulls it back to Rooney. Rooney controls it with his right foot, tried to work a position, couldn't do that. Lee came back, and Lee Chung-yong put in the tackle that dispossessed Rooney, and then Lee loses it in the centre circle and actually dives over Giggs. Referee Mariner tells him to get up. Manchester United coming back at Bolton. Nani now on the right hand side, and Petrov came in, put the challenge in and sent it behind for a United corner.
Yes, good play, well done the referee there, excellent decision. Lee quite clearly dived on the floor looking for the free kick. He had time, and now Manchester United have won the corner.
Burton won, Gillingham won, equaliser for Gillingham. Nani with a corner, out swinger, Smalling was after it, didn't make contact with it. He's gone down under the challenge from Cahill. Evra plays it back to Carrick. There's been another goal at the Hawthorns. Mark Pugac.
What a bonkers game, John. It is 2-2 now. Arshavin with a deep cross. Bednar, for all of the criticism of him, did brilliantly to head it back across. And Van Persie flung himself at the ball and somehow managed to push it over the line, with Carson despairing. It is now West Brom 2, Arsenal 2.
And how long left there? You can tell us that in a moment, Mark, because United with a corner. Here it comes, and it's over the top of Nani and cleared away. Fabio plays it back in. It's headed away by Wheater, not completely away. Rooney jumps for it. Looked as though he might have been blocked by Davis on the edge of the area. No free kick. So Mark Pugac. How long to go at the Hawthorns?
We have got just over 10 minutes to go. I suppose, John, you might have to say at the moment that if Arsenal don't win, then a draw when they, if Man U don't win, a draw when Arsenal have been 2-0 down might not be quite such an appalling result.
You're absolutely right, Marky. Absolutely right.
It is 0-0 still.
Not often, Jimmy.
But Bolton playing the remainder of this game against the 10 men of Manchester United. Walsall now 3-2 up on Hartlepool. Cross from the right from Kevin Davis. Hit the first defender, Giggs, and then scuffed it straight through to Van der Sar. So back to the exciting game at Ewood Park. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Still going into the last 10 minutes. Blackpool are hanging on. Blackburn have just hit the post. Pedersen's cross from the left-hand side. Jason Roberts in the box now, crosses in, and Blackpool managed to get it away. Hoylett with a back heel that came back off the post. He was looking for a penalty as well, for a tug from Craney. Anything could happen in this last 10 minutes. Blackburn 1, Blackpool 2.
Be anxious for all of those West Ham supporters who are listening after they got that point at White Hart Lane earlier. Valencia got his legs taken away by Robinson. I think Robinson's saying he took the ball, but he certainly took the legs of Valencia too. Free kick.
The referee was, 5 or 6 feet away. I don't think he could dispute that. I think the referee's had an excellent game here today. Anyway, here's the free kick now for Manchester United. I think they've got to try and get a bit more width in the play, John, I do.
Manchester United with the free kick. It is right of centre, halfway inside the Bolton half. 0-0 at Old Trafford. No one's leaving yet. See someone waving a Cantona flag in the stand to our right. trying to summon up some sort of inspiration for the home side. Nani takes the free kick into the penalty area to the back post. Smalling was after it. Came up a Bolton head. Corner, says Andre Mariner.
Yep. Cahill again. He's had an excellent game. Cahill and Wheater have been excellent for Bolton. Every time the ball's come into the box, invariably one of those has got the head onto it. This time it's Cahill, but it's another corner for Manchester United. There's not much actually going at Van der Sar's goal. That's the greatest worry I think Owen Coyle will have. 10 against 11 as well, remember.
Michael Owen is sent out to warm up. Manchester United have already made 2 changes. Rooney takes the corner, gets it back. Into the area it goes. Headed away by Kevin Davis. Lee taking it away for Bolton, but beaten to it by Fabio. So let's go back to Millwall and Will Perry.
Well, it's now Millwall 2, Cardiff 3. This is turning into a real game in the second half. Stephen McPhail has just got their 3rd goal, charging into the box. No one picked him up. His shot deflected off a defender from Millwall, nestled into the bottom left corner. I can tell you also that the fan who fell, the Cardiff fan who fell from the second tier, has been stretchered off very carefully by the stewards, by the paramedics. He looks to be, as I say, looks to be okay at this stage. We wish him well. He had oxygen, he had a neck brace on at the moment, though he looks okay.
Thanks, Will. Manchester United 0, Bolton 0. While you were listening to Will, Manchester United had a chance. Rooney here in for Taylor. Headed it straight at Van der Sar. Unmarked in the middle.
The best
8 yards out.
The best chance they've had, John. It's a lovely ball in from Steinson. He was unmarked, Taylor, there. 7 or 8 yards out, and he's headed the ball straight at Van der Sar. Great chance for Bolton.
Best chance they've had. Just about the only clear chance they've had. But it's still 0-0. Elmander now down the left. Manchester United struggling. Comes back for Petrov, who scuffs it horribly. And the ball actually goes out for a throw-in. What a waste that was. He hangs his head, and so he might. Martin Petrov. 0-0. Another goal at Hearts, Brian McLaughlin.
It's an equaliser for Hearts. Ryan Stevenson on as a substitute, just 8 yards out. Saints defence left him all alone. He fired the ball beyond Paul Gallagher. 7 minutes left, Hearts 2, St Mirren 2.
What a chance that was for Matt Taylor to possibly win the game for Bolton. But he fluffed his lines, headed it straight at Van der Sar.
Yes, he had time actually as well. He'll look back on that. He put his head in his hands. He knew what had gone wrong.
Valencia now through to Rooney. Rooney, left side of the box. Tried to cross it, but hit it straight into Steinson, and it bounced away off the shins of Steinson and out for a throw. It's a good opportunity actually that Rooney had a few moments ago when he found a position, hit the shot, but Jääskeläinen made a good save down to his right. United again. Berbatov on the turn, shoots, it's blocked. Rooney's in there as well. Took a deflection, lands on the roof of the net. Corner.
Yes, good turn by Berbatov. Very smart indeed, but again, Bolton found a defender. This time it was Robinson who got in the way, and it's had a bounce, and it's bounced over the top. Corner to Manchester United.
United having to dig deep again, as they did against Marseille in midweek. Nani with the corner then, in over the top of Berbatov, headed away by Wheater. Walsall are now 4-2 upon Hartlepool. Michael Owen still warming up. Evra into the box, off the head of Smalling, and that just bounces through for a goal kick.
Got to give them credit, Manchester United, down to 10 men, but they're the team that supplied the pressure, and yet Bolton have had the real chance. That's the way football is, of course. It's a wonderful chance for Taylor. He'll be thinking about that tonight, no matter what happens. Lovely cross from the right hand side, worrying for Manchester United. Nobody picked Taylor up round the edge of the 6-yard box.
I'm told Rooney was actually warming up before Evans was sent off.
Owen.
Yep, and he's now come back actually onto the bench. Still got his tracksuit top on. 0-0. It is West Brom 2, Arsenal 2 at the Hawthorns, as we've heard from Mark. Still Aston Villa 0, Wolves 1. If it stays like that, there'll be fallout from that game. Here's Nani now for Manchester United on his left foot. Shoots powerfully. Jääskeläinen makes the save though. Close enough to him. Fell to his right, both palms to it, and beat it away.
Excellent save. Good play by Nani. He's always looking for that, of course. Coming in from the flank. Headed in the ball with the outside foot. That was coming in from the right. He hit it with his left foot. Round the D. Good save by Jääskeläinen. That's 2 good saves he's made.
Yes, now he saved from Rooney and Nani. Manchester United coming again. Nani, right foot. Jääskeläinen controlled it. Berbatov is there. Bounces in. Berbatov has got it. And Manchester United, the 10 men of Manchester United, have scored the goal in the 88th minute of the game. Wild celebrations. Rooney came running right over here, sliding on his backside. And Berbatov, brought on as a substitute, has conjured up the goal, and it's Manchester United 1, Bolton 0.
Well, I just praised Jääskeläinen, but frankly he dropped that. The ball was right at him, and he got his chest behind the ball, and he bent down, and it came back off his chest, and Berbatov at the second attempt scrambled it over the line, and it's given probably Manchester United the points. But Jääskeläinen made 2 great saves, and suddenly Manchester United have got the lead.
The shot was powerful from Nani, from the edge of the area, but it was straight at Jääskeläinen, and Berbatov was there. He was onside, and when it came out, middle of the goal, Berbatov got contact on it with his right foot. It hit Jääskeläinen again, and the ball just dribbled over the line. And celebrations here, Jimmy, inside Old Trafford.
Good time to score, 87 minutes, John.
Big moment in this Premier League title race. United in front again, and now Valencia running to the edge of the area, in the D. Valencia plays it through the legs of Taylor, but cleared away by Steinson. We'll have a good deal of added time, I would suggest, 4, 5, 6 minutes, something like that. But there's just a minute and a quarter of the 90 left, and it's Nani into the area on his right foot, beats Robinson to the near post, and it's saved by Jääskeläinen, just above his head, knocked it down, and then gathered it. Accrington 2, Port Vale 0 now. Macclesfield 3, Torquay 3, and another goal at Millwall. Will Perry.
And it is a brilliant one, John. It's an equaliser for Millwall. 41 minutes into the second half. Steve Morrison lobbing Stephen Bywater in the Cardiff net. His 15th of the season, a special one. Millwall 3, Cardiff 3.
Steve Morrison might be involved in the commentary this time next week, when next weekend we'll have commentary on all of the games involving the home nations, including Wales against England next Saturday afternoon in the Euro qualifier.
Yes,
but 1-0 to Manchester United. Jim.
Yeah, Robinson, after the goal, the Bolton fullback, was shown a yellow card, so I'm presuming he's disputing something. I couldn't tell you what it was. But Bolton really, I feel since the injury to Holden, I think they've lost a bit of spark. We haven't seen much from Lee, who's come on, and now there's another change. Now Klasic is coming on. They need something somewhere, up front probably. Moamba's going off. But they've got to get that midfield area right. 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Well,
I thought it might have been more, to be honest.
Had Manchester United still been level in this game, and had Sir Alex Ferguson actually been on the touchline, I think the fourth official would have heard about that one. But leading as they are through Berbatov's goal, they'll accept that. Stoke are now winning 4-0 against Newcastle. Ricardo Fuller with the latest goal. Ball played back, a little short from Carrick to Van der Sar, who clears it. Crystal Palace have equalised against Derby. It's 2-2. An Ambrose penalty. So still West Brom 2, Arsenal 2 at the Hawthorns. I don't think there's time for a late goal there yet. And here Manchester United leading through Berbatov's 21st goal of the season. And that's now 20 in the Premier League for him. And after sitting on the bench for the last couple of games and watching Hernandez do so well, Berbatov found the goal.
Yeah, there's nothing like a goal really. It's just what it sparked the Old Trafford crowd. They'll know what's going on as well between Arsenal and West Brom. I mean, so this could be a big day for Manchester United.
And don't worry everyone, there is a Scottish manager on the touchline questioning the fourth official about the amount of time added on, but it's Owen Coyle, not Alex Ferguson. He's not happy, the Bolton manager. Rooney plays it over the top for Valencia now, down the left-hand side. There's only Berbatov in the middle. Valencia plays it back to Rooney. Rooney to Nani. And Nani now finds a way almost to the edge of the area, but Lee went with him. And Manchester United now keeping possession inside the Bolton half. 4 minutes of added time. We've had almost 2 of them already. It's been a gripping game, actually. A game of really not too many clear goal-scoring opportunities, but how Bolton will rue that missed header by Taylor when it was 0-0.
Yeah, it's been a bad day for Bolton so far. We're losing Holden as well. 4 minutes injury time at West Brom, we're hearing as well, John. So really, this could be a big day for Manchester United. I mean, so they think they've had down to 10 men after Johnny Evans got sent off as well. They've done well.
Judging by the way that we heard it, it may be that they're running slightly behind us at the Hawthorns. Yes. So when this game is finished, there may still be time to play at the Hawthorns, where it is 2-2, and Stoke have won 4-0 against Newcastle. So that's Stoke City up to 37 points and getting closer to the 40-point mark, which seems increasingly likely to be the sort of figure that teams will need to stay up this season. Wolves have won at Villa Park by 1-0. So Aston Villa 0, Wolves 1. We'll have more from Pat Murphy on that a little later on. Commentary approaches from the Six Nations in the big game where England go for the Grand Slam in Dublin. That's from 5. But Manchester United here leading 1-0 with the 10 men after Evans was sent off. But Jääskeläinen hurls it out to Robinson, and Bolton going for the equaliser. Long ball from Robinson, headed away by Smalling. Might be that the makeshift defence of Manchester United keeps a clean sheet here today, and what an important one it would be. Oh, there's a late goal at Ewood Park. Alistair Bruce Ball.
For Blackburn Rovers, Blackburn 2, Blackpool 2. Blackpool just couldn't hold on. It's coming the 3rd minute of added time. Paul Robinson lumped a long free kick into the Blackpool box. Kingston came, had a horrible flap at it, palmed it straight onto the head of Junior Hoylett, who nodded it back into the net via deflection. Blackburn 2, Blackpool 2.
And a twist at Wigan as well, Stuart Hall.
Absolutely. Figueroa, the left back for Wigan, stormed in, took a lash, speculative, sword pass, Foster, it's Wigan 2, Birmingham 1, wow!
And Manchester United have beaten Bolton Wanderers by 1-0. That 88th minute goal from Dimitar Berbatov when Jääskeläinen couldn't hold Nani's shot. Jääskeläinen, as he walks off, actually looks to the heavens. He knows that his error has decided the game. Manchester United, the leaders, have won again after their 2 defeats in their previous league games. 3 points again, a valuable 3 points for them. It's finished Manchester United 1, Bolton 0.